Let's get nasty on a Tuesday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. 201. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Appreciate everybody tuned in here on a Tuesday in St. Louis. You can always get a hold of us throughout the course of the show via the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. You can watch us via our Air Alliance team studio cams on YouTube, affectionately known as the Snake Pit.
Oh, Anthony, they're not only tuned in St. Louis.
I thought you were going to do this.
Oh.
There we go. All right.
We're global. They're all over the world.
Absolutely.
Hey, you're not listening to the Fast Lane. What are you doing? The Fast Lane are you doing?
Probably working or...
Nah. Like put it on in the background.
Yeah, good call.
Get you some laughs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Blues back in action tonight.
Yeah.
They take on the Boston Bruins.
Get that dub, Jamie.
Yeah, baby.
Darn right. Mm-hmm. Jamie's going to be with us for the first 2 hours of the show. So I was thinking about this. We tend to do this in the media where we make a big deal out of a game that in a couple of months we never really reference again. But I do wonder, coming off your second 8-1 loss of the season, even though it's not only to mid-November yet, I do wonder if this winds up being kind of a big game for the Blues. Drew Bannister's going back to Jordan Binnington.
Yep.
Right call. No issues there. And he says that the Blues got to play much better in front of them. This is kind of one of those moments in the year where I think it's kind of that mile marker. Where are we as a team? We've lost 8-1. We're trying to just tread water with some of these injuries. But what we're seeing thus far, the effort isn't there and the compete isn't there. So you got a Boston Bruins team coming to town that the Blues have had success against, not just in the Cup, but in other matchups. But they're damn good too. Mm-hmm. How big of a game is this for you, do you think? Or for them, I should say.
Well, to look back at everything so far, and like you said, the compete and all that, it wasn't there for pretty much one game. Even the game you lost 8-1 to Ottawa, there were some crazy bounces, some things. Not the greatest effort by any means. But last game, and it wasn't even the whole game, it was the third period, where the team just sort of, sat back and looked kind of lifeless. So what you want here tonight at Enterprise Center is you want to see a team with pushback. The Blues winning tonight isn't a must thing. I want it to happen. Blues fans would certainly like it. But it's not a must thing. For me, it's the Blues responding with an effort that St. Louis sports fans are used to seeing. Mm-hmm. That's the requirement for that group of players tonight. They took a beating in Ottawa, 8-1. Went to Philly the next game. Didn't win, but it looked a whole lot better. That's what you need tonight. You need your team to respond. Like the first period tonight has to be a very competitive period. You don't have to be winning. You might be down by a goal. I'm not saying that if the Blues are down by one goal going in the second period, that's it. This team, just like the other night. I'm just saying the eye test tonight, to me, is more important than the result. And we're all very educated people here in St. Louis. People know what an effort is, and they know what an effort when there's no effort there. The crowd tonight at Enterprise Center has to look out there in the first period and be like, okay, that's better. That's more like it. And if that's what happens, then Drew Bannister and his coaching staff will have done their job in addressing whatever the hell happened in the third period the other night. Mm-hmm. Then you got to repeat that in the second, repeat that in the third. You got to start building that culture of a team that's just not going to give up. Even if we're losing, we don't give up. And Matthew Joseph back in the lineup tonight. He'll be playing on the wing with Braden Shen and Dylan Holloway. That line was really good together before Matthew Joseph got hurt. I think Matthew Joseph is the perfect element here to add to this group for tonight. He's kind of a relentless player out there. And not only is he physically relentless, he's also vocally relentless. He's always talking on the bench, talking and yelling. In the locker room, he's talking and yelling. It's like, okay. But it keeps the pulse of the team elevated. And so I think that the timing is perfect for him to come back. And we need to see an effort out of this Blues team that looks way more like we want it to.
Yeah, so some of the line combinations, Jamie just mentioned a couple of them. Neighbors, Buchnevich, and Cairo. These were the Blues morning skate lineups. I'm getting this from Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider at The Athletic, at JP Rutherford online. So Neighbors, Buchnevich, Cairo, Holloway, Shen, Joseph, Toropchenko, Foxa, and Walker, and then Saad, Sundqvist, and Texier. That's the fourth line. Your defensive pairings, Suter, Parayko, Joseph, Falk, Perunovic, who did score his first NHL goal the other night. Is buried, unfortunately, in the loss, but he did score his first goal.
too.
Perunovic is with Kessel, and then Binnington again. Binnington's going to be the starter.
Yeah, and I'm happy that Jordan Binnington is back between the pipes because we all know what the narrative would have been. If you come back with hope for tonight, he's mad at Binnington. Gave up 8 goals. You know, you can't do that and be a number 1 goalie. Meanwhile, let's go back and look at some of those goals. Some of them he had no chance on. Alex Ovechkin, all by himself, alone back door. Gonna be the greatest goal scorer in NHL history.
He's pretty good.
You might want to get a body on him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But people automatically, the goalie sucks. Yeah, he wasn't great. I will say this. Halfway through the first period, I did say to our production team with FanDuel Sports Network, I said, Jordan Binnington's rebounds aren't great tonight. They're not great. They're coming up a little hot. He's not controlling them as good. But that's a minor critique of his game. When he has no chance at a puck because the guy's left all by himself,
right.
It doesn't matter what rebounds he's kicking out. He's not getting the puck.
Yeah, when you lose like 4-2, you can kind of break down things like that. But 8-1, that's not just the goalie.
No.
That's the play in front of him.
It's everybody not doing their job, not doing a good enough job. Hopefully, when you get, Jamie, you know this, when you get your butt kicked like the way you did last game, hopefully you come out with a renewed sense of urgency, the ability to go after it and not. I just want to see them not get down to start the game. Let's score first. Crazy idea, I know.
Carey, I think you're asking a lot.
Well, Jamie, I don't know. I've seen other teams do it, and they usually win. I think it works really well. So let's score the first goal and maybe score another one and be up 2-0 and see how you fare after that. That would be really nice.
You're talking some real witch magic right now, Carey. Some real witch magic.
But hear me out for a second.
Okay.
If you do score first, that means the other team has to play catch-up.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
And the other team being the Bruins, it hasn't been all rainbows and unicorns over there this season.
See?
There has been a lot of stuff going on there within the group. There's rumors now coming out of like Elliot Friedman, his 32 Thoughts podcast, that the Bruins may be looking at like Joel Quenneville and Todd McClellan, meaning they're not saying that Jim Montgomery might be fired, but he'd have to be fired if you want to hire one of those guys, which is weird because Montgomery has by far the highest winning percentage of all coaches in the last 2 years. Like, it's not even close. And so if you've got some turbulence, we'll call it, within that locker room or within that organization, and you score first, Carey, now all of a sudden that pressure that you feel as a team goes to the Bruins side. And now they've got to fight to come back in the game. And who knows if those guys are getting along, if the coach is getting along with the players. It causes a little more stress on their side of things.
Well, the good news is you are facing a Bruins team that you mentioned. Maybe they've got some inner locker room stuff going on. We don't know. We're not privy to it. But offensively, they haven't been great this year. Bruins are near the bottom of the NHL offensively, averaging 2.5 goals per game. Power play converting at 12.5%. It's tied for second worst in the league entering Monday. Now, we can't really talk.
Let's focus on them, okay?
The Blues team is the least effective power play out of the entire NHL. But the Bruins are the second worst. So you're facing a team that's not great offensively. Now, you haven't been great offensively. But you are facing a team that also is struggling.
Anthony, I'm going to need you to stop talking right now, okay?
What I'm saying is the Bruins are only averaging 2.5 goals per game.
Something's got to give.
And their power play stinks. Not worse than the Blues, but it still stinks.
I don't like where this is going.
Did I get that right?
Okay. Yeah, you did, Anthony. Okay. That's why it hurts.
Well, truth often does.
It does. That is so true.
Yeah. So tonight, Blues Bruins pregame starting right here on 101 ESPN at 6 o'clock. You'll hear from Alex Ferrario, Joe Vitale, Chris Kerber. Joe will join us later on in the show. As we mentioned before, Jamie is gone at 4 o'clock. He'll head downtown. He'll head right to the Enterprise Center for the FanDuel Sports Network airing of the Blues and Bruins. But again, we got the game for you right here on the home of the Blues, 101 ESPN. Monday Night Football last night. Boy, the Rams stunk. Hate to see it, huh? Hate to see it.
Said nobody in St. Louis.
That offense.
It was bad.
Similar to the Bruins this season.
Couldn't get any power plays going?
Couldn't get any power plays going. Settle for a whole mess of field goals last night.
That kicker's got to be exhausted today.
No
You
kidding.
got to be a little tired.
Yeah,
that
no
was
kidding.
they struggled in the red zone, and they struggled on third down. Usually cost you games.
Typically not good.
Yeah.
So 2 separate questions of this. One, how devastating was that loss for the Rams? And 2, is there a small chance that maybe the Dolphins just saved their season? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Head over to my friends over at Pure Performance. They are your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications. They got so many great accessories over there. If you've got a pickup truck and you want a lift kit, head over to Pure Performance. Light kits, those running boards, maybe you want a tri-fold tonneau cover. Those are awesome. I had that put in about 6 months ago over at Pure Performance, and I absolutely love it. Maybe you've got a brand new vehicle that you love the vehicle, but you want to make it special for you, and you want to add some things. Head over to Pure Performance. They've got everything available for you, and they have a massive showroom. It's 25,000 square feet, and it has everything in there from all the things I described and more. They got all those oversized tires, wheels, and they've got regular tires and wheels for any vehicle. That's what Pure Performance does. They have everything for you, and they also have a full-service garage, which means that if you're in there getting some accessories put on your vehicle, you can also have a tune-up, an oil change, the brakes change, whatever you need. Pure Performance has got you covered. They're easy to find right off of Highway 70 in St. Peter's. When you walk in there, please ask for Shelby or Caleb. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. They're going to take great care of you, and you're going to love everything over there. But if you can't get there in person, get there online. Visit them at pureperformance.com. That's pure, P-U-R, performance.com.
Tua keeps, fires, touchdown, Miami, Tyreek Hill. Dolphins spread him out. And Tyreek Hill with a 1-yard touchdown catch, his second touchdown of the year. They cover up Tyreek Hill here, but the play action fake in the backfield gets Kinchins looking, and then he gets off of it and just opens it right up then for Tyreek Hill and the touchdown.
That was Joe Buck and Troy Aikman last night, ESPN TV, the big network there, calling the Dolphins and Rams. What?
They just made me laugh there a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, ESPN knew that.
I almost said ESPN Radio, which would not have been accurate because that was the TV broadcast.
Every now and then, Anthony, you say something. I look over like,
yeah.
I know there was a glitch in the Matrix,
yep.
but I don't really know what it was.
That was one of those where I was skating and I stopped because I knew I wasn't going the right way, and then I fell over.
That was me yesterday trying to figure out to do the math. 4 times 3. I was like, how many? How much? What is it? I was like, 18. No. 12. 6. Field goals. Oh, I didn't know.
You get there.
It sucks getting old. Just got to blame this on old age.
Yeah,
if not, maybe that we're just slow.
Or both.
Yeah. Could be. So the Dolphins beat the Rams last night, 23-15. I don't know what side you want to start with. Maybe we start off with the Rams here. But last night, I don't know how you guys felt. Like when I was watching that Sunday night football game, knowing how good the Lions are, even though they were playing poorly, I thought they could still get back in this because they're that good of a team. There wasn't really a moment, even though the score was close in the second half last night, that I felt the Rams ever grabbed the hold of that game. Ever, like since the point that Tua got out of a potential sack on their first drive and found Jalen Waddle along the sidelines for a 36-yard gain.
That was a hell of a play.
That was. From that moment on, I thought the Dolphins are in control of this game. And anytime they needed it to get back in a field goal range, get back in the scoring range, they did. Anytime they really needed a big defensive play, they had one. And the Rams' offense was putrid last night.
Oh, no, they weren't putrid, Anthony. They're fine.
What?
Until they got inside the 25-yard line.
Sure.
Or on third down, like Carey said.
Third down, they were terrible.
But apart from that, they're fine. A couple of those drives, you're watching Stafford just moving the ball down the field. Like, hey, not bad. All of a sudden, brick wall at the 20-yard line.
Yeah. The
field goal kicker is a sore hamstring today, maybe an aggravated hip flexor.
Got an ice tub after the game.
The kicker, he should have been in Stafford's face.
Yeah, he should have.
How about you make a third down conversion,
Can
buddy?
you convert
Tighten
one?
up.
Please? I don't know. The Rams, who knows? Because you got Puka and you got Cooper both playing. I know Puka missed the game and had missed time, and Cooper had missed time, and then Puka got kicked out of a game a couple of weeks ago for throwing a punch. You got both of those guys ready to roll. They both had pretty decent games in terms of catching passes. There was nothing over the top. Like, there was not the explosive play that you're accustomed to seeing from the Los Angeles Rams. Like,
they didn't have time.
They're not enough time. Yeah. Not enough. They do a lot of play action and a lot of movement. It was all a lot of check downs, and so it was an interesting game plan because Miami was not allowing them to execute what they do best. And I would say the same thing on the other side. The Rams did a really good job of not allowing the big plays for the Miami Dolphins. Like, you had the big reverse that scored a touchdown for 18 yards. That was a nice play. But there were not the explosive plays that you're accustomed to seeing. You had a couple of Jalen Waddle. You actually had one that he caught for a longer pass that probably would have been a touchdown if Tua would have saw him earlier. But you're not seeing the 60, 70-yard touchdowns to Tyreek Hill that you're accustomed to. So I think both these defenses played really well. Marshy did hit his bet the board because he had Jared Verse getting half a sack, and he got a whole sack, at least one.
Lucky guy.
Forced a fumble and picked it up.
Yeah, he had a big game.
He had a good game. So defensively, both teams, I think, played well. I don't know if this is more about what the Rams didn't do, because at home against a team that has been struggling, obviously you got Tua back. They played well last week and lost on a last-second field goal to Buffalo. But I don't know if this is more about the Rams not performing well and not scoring touchdowns, because you never see a Rams team not score a touchdown. You kick that many field goals, that's odd for that offense. I don't know who the Dolphins are, because I just 3-6 feels like too deep of a hole to dig out of.
Right, but they also looked more like the team that looked good in this first half last year. Maybe less explosive.
That's the thing. They were not as explosive as I'm used, even in the run game.
Yeah.
Like your longest run was the reverse to Washington, but for the running back it was
he
15
looked like
yards.
Tyreek Hill, by the way.
He was flying.
Yes.
Oh man!
I want to know how
Took me a
fast he
second to
is.
figure it out.
There's
I need to know
there's a
how
touchdown for
fast. They
Tyreek.
got a bunch of fast people on their roster.
That is a dome team.
Yes.
That plays outdoors in Miami.
It's easier because you are out. It's Miami.
It's Miami, right.
You built for.
They've always been built
It's
that
not
way.
really outside,
some respect.
you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it is.
I mean, it is,
hot.
but you know.
You know, I think so. I don't know how to say this without like taking away from Miami's win, but Carey, I think you pose an interesting question. Was that more Miami's win last night or the Rams' loss? I think if you kind of step back and just look at Jamie, the expectations for the Rams going in that game. You're at home.
Yeah.
Miami's coming off a physical loss to Buffalo. Now they have to go from Buffalo back home to Miami and then, travel out to L.A. And I know they had the extra day because they're playing on Monday night, but you're a small home favorite. Miami, it's not like Miami's fans are the Steelers fans or the travel, and you don't really have a true home field advantage. Yeah, nobody's going to the game. But to me, the Rams are coming off that win against the Seahawks, and you think, okay, they can really either stay in this wild card mix, stay in a crowded NFC West, or you take a major step back.
Yeah.
And I think out of all the teams, there were some uglier losses on Sunday, but everything that was kind of at stake for the Rams, I thought that was one of the more devastating losses in Week 10.
Yeah,
I think that was more about the Rams.
Because nobody is really separating themselves. The Arizona Cardinals feel like they might be separating themselves from the pack. I didn't like what San Francisco did this weekend. I didn't think that they were, even though they're finally starting to get healthy, I wasn't really impressed with what they did. Obviously, the Rams lose. Seattle had the week off. Like, nobody at this point, in my opinion, like you expected the 49ers to be the lead dog in that division. You thought that the Rams and the Seahawks would be better. You didn't expect for the Cardinals to be there. And I do agree. I think the Rams missed an opportunity last night because that's a bad loss. Mm-hmm. That's not a loss you should have, especially at home. Just the inability to put the ball into the end zone. I think Stafford missed some throws as well. There was one to Puka Nacua where he had him on a slant route, a post route, and he missed them. Mm-hmm. Like, you're missing guys. And you're not scoring, and it's costing you points, and so you're ending up with field goals, and you lose the game that you probably should have won.
What you said is interesting, Anthony, of whether the Dolphins won or the Rams lost the game. I'm just diving into the numbers here, and I think you're right in a lot of ways because Tua only passed for 207 yards, and the Dolphins only rushed for 67 yards. Flip it. Stafford passed for 293, and the Rams rushed for 70. So their offense was clicking better than the Dolphins, except in the red zone.
Right.
They couldn't punch it into the end zone to save their lives last night. So, yeah, I think it's a combination of things. Now, Tua was 20 of 28. Pretty good accuracy there. Not bad. Pretty good completion percentage there for him. But, yeah, I think the Rams took a step backwards, especially in areas where they could score, and the Dolphins did enough not to lose.
The Rams outgained the Dolphins overall 327 to 238. The turnovers were even at 2 apiece. First downs, Rams had 5 more first downs than the Dolphins, and they possessed the ball almost for a minute longer. It really was even last night. But, yeah, Jamie, you're right. You highlight some of the numbers, and you think, well, the Rams won this game. One last thing on this. If you go back to that Seattle game when they won 26-20, the Rams offense really didn't click in that game either. Mm-hmm. They had a defensive touchdown in that one because Geno Smith threw a really ugly pass that picked off.
Down by it was in their own, backed up in their own area.
Yeah, it might have been a 99 or 100-yard interception return. I forget what it was, the number-wise. But the Rams had the one deep throw from Stafford to DeMarcus Robinson. Otherwise, they didn't look great last week either. Mm-hmm. So there's something wrong right now with this Rams offense, and it could cost them a potential wild card spot. It's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. We've got What's Trending with Andrew Marsh next.
looking for somewhere fun to go and hang out with your friends and also get great food off the menu, head over to Twin Peaks over there in Maplewood. They got a tremendous amount of things on the menu. My guy Carey was just there talking about the Texas-style cheesecake. Said it's awesome. Got the jalapenos on there, the pico de gallo. It's on that toasted hoagie roll too, Anthony. You'd love it. I'm telling you, you'd love it. And they've got so many other great things over there. They got the tacos. I like the little mini beef tacos that are the appetizers. Those are great. You can always hammer a few of those down. They're great. And also, you wash it all down with the 29-degree man-sized draft. Those are so icy cold. The glass is full of ice, too. It is awesome. Tonight, they'll have the Blues game on there. They'll have any other sporting events that you're looking to watch. If you ask them to put on something specific, they will do that. The staff is awesome, friendly, knowledgeable. They like to have a good time, too. And if you go in there frequently, they know what you like. They're going to get your drink for you. You're going to hang out, talk, all those great things. That's located over there at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
.101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. We just got done talking about Monday Night Football as the Miami Dolphins defeated the Los Angeles Rams 23-15. Tonight on 101 ESPN, you can listen to the Blues take on the Boston Bruins. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We'll talk with Joe Vitale later in the show at 5:30, so stay tuned for that. But we have What's Trending coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, we have been discussing in the past few days, leading back to going back to last week, about certain plays at the end of the game that ultimately you could say cost the team, or some would say that they don't cost the team. You have to look at all the plays within the game.
That's what
Oh, he's setting us up.
This is interesting.
Setting us up, guys.
Yes.
Bear with me. I want to know what your thoughts are on this.
No, you don't.
I absolutely do. This is from Rich Semini. He tweeted out on X, Twitter, hashtag Jets stock report, entire defense, 20 missed tackles. Sauce Gardner, the costliest miss. Aaron Rodgers, season low, 151 yards despite being pressured on only 7 dropbacks. Keeps going into that. Sauce Gardner then quote tweeted this specific thing from Rich, and now this is deleted, by the way, but he said, Yup, I'm 100% sure me missing that tackle at the beginning of the second quarter for a gain of 17 yards was the costliest miss, and that is, in fact, what lost us the game. Thoughts on that? And when we talk about the Jets, I would like to think that there's zero accountability in that locker room, and this kind of proves that. And I'm kind of disappointed because I like Sauce Gardner. What are your thoughts?
If I'm the next Jets head coach, whoever that poor you-know-what is, I am putting on film of what Jalen Ramsey did last night, making that big hit, that big tackle. Or I'm just showing Sauce Gardner Jalen Ramsey highlights over and over and over again, or Richard Sherman highlights, or any tall, lengthy corner that is also willing to tackle. And there's not many of them. But if you're going to be paid big-time money at some point, you're going to be the one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Play like Jalen Ramsey. Play like Richard Sherman used to do. And that might sink in terms of like the culture and the attitude around the Jets. Otherwise, everybody's just out for themselves.
Yeah, and if I'm a coach, whoever that coach is, or even right now, every play does matter. It absolutely matters. Even if it's a one first down that he gave up because of a missed tackle. The problem I have with it is you're okay with it.
Yeah, what's your standards?
Like, you're okay with missing a tackle for 17 yards. What if we're in a championship game or a playoff game? You're going to be okay with that? I'm not. Like, as a competitive player, and I've never played in the NFL yet, of course, but if I did, every time I could physically touch an opponent, I'd expect myself to make the play.
Right.
And if I didn't, I'd be pissed. And that might be extreme, but I felt that way when I played hockey. If I'm close enough to get a hold of a guy, I better bury him. And if I couldn't bury him or I made a bad play, that's on me. If it was a missed check in the first period and nothing happened, guy just gets a shot on goal. Well, that didn't matter, right? No, it did, because what if he scored there?
Right.
So, I don't know. Standards got to be higher.
Well, maybe the next coach probably and should be Aaron Glenn, defensive coordinator for your Detroit
No, he's
Lions.
not leaving.
Played
Carey.
8 years in New York with the Jets. Be a good spot for him.
Yeah, it would be.
Played DB. Maybe talk to the DBs about tackling, and yeah, it does matter because it's not the one tackle that you're talking about, Sauce. The man said there were 30 missed tackles. if it's yours, it's nice 29. You probably missed 3. And it was a terrible tackle, attempt at a tackle. It was the Trey McBride catch where he caught it and spun out and kept going, and then he jumped over a defender. Like, yes, it matters. Was it third down? I don't know. Was it second down? I don't know. But you put yourself, I think it was third down when that happened. Mm-hmm. It was a short play. It was 3rd and 6, and he tackled him or should have tackled him for the 4-yard gain, which made it 4th and 2, and you get off the field. This, in my opinion, is the problem with, and I hate that I'm even saying this because I'm not the old guy, but they're making me feel like the old guy. This is the problem with young people.
Oh, there it is.
Where is the accountability? People? Yeah. What the heck?
Mark,
Man,
sorry,
made a tackle. I missed a tackle on 3rd and was 17. Yeah, because if you make that tackle, it's 4th down, man. And you get off the field, and you give your offense another possession. So, yes, every damn play matters. And the fact that you are oblivious to that and respond, which is why he probably deleted it. Like, well, that was a dumb decision.
There's another deleted tweet, too, if you'd like me to read that.
Oh, I would love it.
Okay, let me go to it.
Like, that's your response real quick, March? That's your response? Like, I've never coached in the NFL.
Yet.
Thank you, Jamie. But
still time.
Give me somebody that's going to look at that tweet and say that's ridiculous. We cannot have 30 missed tackles.
It's
as
ridiculous.
Opposed to, oh yeah, sure, like my one missed tackle that lost us the game.
But that's the mindset of a losing team.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's also the mindset of a losing team when you blame one play on one play. It does matter.
Yeah.
Every single play matters, though. Every single play, you have an opportunity to do the thing that is right to help your team win that game. Mm-hmm. Are you going to be perfect? Never. You will never be perfect in any game on any level. You will have mistakes. You will do things poorly. The goal is to do less things poorly than you do the right way. You want to do more things right than you do things wrong. And those teams usually win when you stack those plays after plays after plays. If you continuously make mistakes as a unit, I made a mistake. Okay, so did the damn defensive end. Yep. So did the middle linebacker. So did the free safety. So did the strong safety. So did the other cornerback. Now you got 7 or 8 guys with that mentality, and you get beat 31-6. The hell out of here, man. Nah.
Amen.
So the other deleted tweet, and this he added somebody that must have been just, I wouldn't say chirping him, but probably calling him out, who does work on YouTube for the Jets, all that stuff. Not for the Jets, but, covers the Jets and whatnot. But this is what he had to say. I'm very accountable, and my teammates know. I owe it to them, not you or anybody else on this app. I missed 1 tackle and gave up like 19 yards. Do I want each of those plays back? Of course. But how about you come play corner in the NFL for a week and let me know how it goes? Winky face.
So that play was a 3rd and 7. I'm looking at it now. It was Trey McBride. It was a 3rd and 7, and he missed the tackle, and it led to a 1st down, which eventually led to a touchdown. So you're telling me it's 1 play? Yeah, it is. It's 1 play that led to
play.
It's a huge play.
And I understand the when you want to be defensive because you're like, oh, come on, man. Like, you come and do this. Like, it's not as easy as it might look sitting, at home on your couch.
Right.
But I think taking accountability for your actions, specifically in this point, like, it reminds me of like Jordan Carew, for instance, when he turned the puck over against Philly and it did it again, in Utah, but he took accountability. It doesn't matter like whether or not you like him. At least he is doing that, taking accountability for the mistake, and it was a costly mistake. But so was this. It just depends on what time of the game it is. But it really doesn't matter.
They say a hit dog will holler, and he's hollering loud as can be because it's 14-6 when that happens. It's a 3rd and 7. You tackle Trey McBride, you get him on the ground. It's a 3 and out. Your defense is off the field, and your offense is back in the game in a 1-possession game. You don't make that tackle. He goes and leaps over the next defender. It's a 17-yard gain, and they go and punch it in, and now you're down 21-6. So, yeah. Like, if I'm on the team with you, if I'm the head coach, you damn right that's a bad play. Mm-hmm. You damn right you got to make that tackle because we get off the field if you do. And for you to go back and forth and say it's 1 play lets me know that you're probably, and I don't think that that's who Sauce is, because I know he is competitive. He is a dog on the field, and he does want to make every play.
What kind of dog is he, Carey?
A pit bull.
No, he looks more like
he's a pit bull.
more like
he's
doodle
a pit bull.
Some kind, one of those doodles.
Yeah. I know him to be a pit bull on the football field. That's on the internet where he's typing and making dumb decisions.
Yeah.
But that mindset is why your team is 3-7. Your quarterback does it too. He blames a guy for not running the red line, and you ain't throw the damn ball to the red line.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they do. That's who they are. That's why they got a coach fired. Same thing gonna happen with Dallas. That coach is gonna get fired. Same thing gonna happen with, like, you this is part of why people get fired, because the players make poor decisions and don't compete hard enough. And he is not a non-competitive person. He is extremely competitive. Just shouldn't have tweeted that.
Carey, ever tell you the story about Jimmy Roberts, who's a Blues Hall of Famer now, when he called us all in one by one in the minors? So he calls us into his office, and he says, hey, what kind of dog are you? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? He goes, what kind of dog are you? If you were a dog, what kind of dog would you like to be? And I was like, man, I'm trying to think. I'm not trying to be, like, obvious with, like, some, like, rabid dog. I'm like, okay. Be like Lassie, you know? I said, big dog, but protects the family, and, you know, she's really nice. Okay, great. Everyone on the team goes through and does this. Now, then Jimmy comes into the locker room before practice. We'd lost a couple of games, and he goes, I got a poodle. I got a Labrador. I've got a collie. You know what I don't have? I don't have one damn pit bull in this room. And he's pointing at guys. This guy, I'd be a nice little lap dog. Well, yeah, you will be. You'll be on the bench sitting there the whole damn game. How do I not have a pit bull in this locker room? I better find one before Friday night. It was awesome. We got the message, you know, but it was so funny, and that's what made Jimmy so unique, and obviously that's why he's a Blues Hall of Famer to be here inducted soon. But that just reminded me of that.
That's awesome. Real quick here, Shane Waldron fired as Bears offensive coordinator.
That's hard to believe. They're so good.
Jeez.
They aren't, actually.
That's shocking, huh?
Listen, man, that's the order of things. You fire a coach before you become fired. The head coach, the manager.
What do you think Antonio Pierce is doing?
You start firing
Who's
people.
next?
Yeah.
Jump in front of the bus. Get out of here.
Not me.
Yeah.
I don't think it's...
I found the problem, ownership.
I don't think it's on Shane Waldron. I think Caleb Williams has to play better. You got to get rid of the ball. This game, and this is what we talked about when I said the Steelers were making a good decision of bringing Russell in. It's about on-time, on-target throws. You cannot have guys, you can't throw it when they're open. You have to throw it before they become open. When they're on their break, you have to anticipate. And you have to trust that your receivers are going to get the ball. It's our ball or nobody's ball. And right now, Caleb Williams is not able to throw the ball on time and on target because he actually needs to see the player open. And by that time, the defensive back is recovering and able to knock a pass down or pick it off. Yep. And that's why they're struggling.
Still a nation. Let's welt.
Oh, yeah.
It's fascinating on 101 to ESPN.
Trust in Russ.
Oh, no.
Is it trust in Russ or in Russ we trust?
I have a visceral response when he says that.
It's weird.
I almost, little vomit.
Yeah.
Little, like, not totally, but just a little, you can taste it. You're like, no, fight it back down.
Don't get mad when we're in the Super Bowl.
Oh, my God. Want to wager on it? Carey, want to wager on that?
We'll talk about it later.
I keep asking you. You keep singing the song. I'm giving you an opportunity to back it up.
I don't want to take your money, Jamie.
Oh, that's fine. I'll give it to you. That's fine.
Just give it over.
No, just make the bet.
Yeah, all right.
Mr. Limited.
Mr. Limited.
Yeah.
He didn't look limited, though, this past week.
There you go.
Hey, let's give the guy
one pass doesn't make
his roses here.
Mr. Unlimited.
There you go.
All right. NFL Week 10 Pick'em Challenge. We won, boys.
Look at us.
We absolutely won.
We got tired of letting them win.
Yep.
The pity party is over.
Magic numbers down to 1. Unfortunately, one of us will be punished.
Who was that?
For losing the tiebreaker in last night's Monday Night Football.
Did we figure out the tiebreaker yet?
Nope.
Oh, we figured it out in terms of who was last.
How did these numbers come about?
Nobody knows.
Some
Carey,
mystery.
Yeah.
I'm going to task you with getting to the bottom.
I will, because if I get shot again and I know it's a tiebreaker and I don't know how the tiebreaker works, we're gonna be some furniture moving in here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bunch of crap. That's what it is.
Carey's safe, so am I.
Yeah.
Somebody else in this room is not.
Oh, no.
That's next on 101 ESPN.
With over 20 years of family ownership and operation here in St. Louis, E&B Granite is the trusted name when it comes to renovating your kitchen, renovating your bathroom, and now renovating that outdoor living space. They have great selection of countertops. They've got granite, marble, soapstone, quartz. And the best part about that is they're all located right there at the facility, which is located at 6135 Manchester Avenue. Walk inside and talk to the in-house design staff. Tell them what you're looking to try and do. And they'll walk you back to where all the countertops are at. And it's not a little small sample size that you get to see. You get to see everything. So you get to see the whole pattern, the color, all that stuff. It is really awesome. They also have great cabinets, and they've got tons of different colors available for you as well. And they do a wonderful job of ripping out all the old stuff and installing your brand new kitchen, your bathroom, outdoor living space, whatever it is. So please don't waste a minute. Give them a call at 314-645-9300. Again, that's 314-645-9300, or visit them at enbgranite.com.
Pick'em Challenge on 101 ESPN.
Refreshed by Bud Light.
Well, you sure know how to pick them.
Week 10 is in the books officially, and we are 8-2 in the Fastlane Riz Show Pick'em Challenge.
One more win needed?
Refreshed by Bud Light. One win. We win this week. It's a wrap. Jamie, you got a question?
Yeah, is it even halfway through the season? Yeah. Get 9 games.
We're at the halfway
Yeah,
point.
just about.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we,
I just wanted to gauge how embarrassing it might be for them.
well, it was less embarrassing when they won the back-to-back weeks when, we gave them some charity. But,
They still accused of cheating even though they won,
yeah, right.
which
yeah.
was a weird stance.
Yeah.
It's really weird. I guess
When you're getting beat this badly, you start to
gotta
become a
find
little delusional.
Anybody, did they even talk about it this morning?
I don't know.
Or are they just
actually.
avoiding it now?
I think they probably talked about it yesterday, I would imagine.
No, they were off yesterday, I think.
Oh.
I think they were off for Veterans Day.
they were.
I think they were. I think they took the day off.
Oh,
That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, that's the ratio. They probably just gifted that day off.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Good call on that. All right. So we had a tiebreaker in the individual weekly punishment. It came down to BK, Jamie, and Marshy Marsh.
how'd it go? What happened?
And you can tell by the side that Marsh lost the tiebreaker.
What? How does BK keep getting away with it?
I don't know. He's won the tiebreaker 2 or 3 times
I
now.
think he's the one that sets up the
It
tiebreaker.
might
think
be
so, too.
that.
Yeah.
Now
That
we're
makes more
talking.
sense.
That makes sense.
So Marsh now faces, 3 shots?
Yeah, sure.
3 shots for Andrew
No,
Marsh.
I think it's 4.
Damn it, Carey.
Yeah,
It's 4. I hate to say it.
So we got 10. We got
It
10
is
weeks.
4.
I've been shot twice. Carey twice. Jamie twice. It is
That's 6.
This is the worst one because the other 3, I was horrible.
Yeah.
Just horrible. This one, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad week.
You just lost the tiebreaker.
I just lost the tiebreaker. So this one might sting the worst.
All right, Marsh, you want to get it over with now? You want to wait to the end of the segment?
No, let's do it now.
Okay. All right. So we got the airsoft gun right now.
And I say we go back to our original marker.
I'm gonna get out of the
Okay,
way.
yeah.
I'm gonna go over to Marshall's
The
spot.
original marker was like the edge of your reader.
Okay. So
Here
this
to,
is...
or Marshy went further. Okay, he adjusted the playing field. I'm going to get out of the way here. Hang on.
I want to make sure.
Yeah.
Jamie, you want to
I don't
come
want
over
any. I don't want any problems.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
My,
feel-
the camera.
Yeah, you're good.
I don't know.
Yeah, Carey,
Sure.
you can see over there.
I can. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Everybody wants to see this gentleman get his punishment.
Yeah, he's got bare legs, which is awfully trusting considering that there's been friendly fire in here before.
All right. Jamie, count
Oh
it down.
yeah, that's a good spot.
3, 2, 1.
You missed him.
Missed.
Nope.
Oh,
Nothing.
we're having a problem. The gun's jamming on it.
Nothing.
Anthony, this is the sick part where we make
I know.
Marshy fix the gun so he can get shot.
All right, here we go.
It's not great.
No.
Nope.
Oh, Marshy.
Marshy, we're going to need your assistance. This is terrible. Carey, this is like when your parents used to send you out
Go
to
get
get
the
a stick.
switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your most regrettable pick from last week?
The Falcons for sure.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I picked the Falcons.
I picked them with confidence though.
I've been
I
picking
did
against
too.
them.
That's
I
my
have a
most
lot of
regrettable
confidence
pick.
in them.
Would you like to see how to do this?
Yes.
Okay, so this
So
is
you
what
don't
we're
have
going
to
to do.
show him.
We're going to pull this lever down. Pull the lever,
Pull the
Kronk.
lever.
We're going to let the beads go all the way to the top. Make sure they're in that little socket right there. See them right here?
It's in the socket.
That's helpful.
And
yeah.
then put your finger over,
Carey?
over
Yeah.
the
You
get
top.
that?
Yeah.
Make sure it doesn't spring out. And boom, we got about 4 or 5 loaded.
Okay, good.
All right,
You
sounds.
pop it in.
We need 4 or 5 shots today.
Yeah. There you go, Anthony. Attaboy. All right, we'll try this again.
All right, here we go.
3,
Let's see.
2, and 1.
Oh, that was good. That one left a mark in the.
It did. There's a poof there. All right. 3, 2, 1. Oh! Wow, Anthony's going border to border here.
Back in the way, and the people can't see.
Oh no,
They-
we got to
they
do this
didn't- they
over
can't-
again.
Okay, so that's 2 down, 2 to go.
Damn it.
3, 2, 1. Oh, he went back to the original.
Did he hit?
Oh, yeah. And last one here. 3, 2, and 1. Oh, misfire.
missed him.
We're out of.
Yeah.
Anthony, fix it quick.
You can do it.
Got lots of these here.
Showed me.
Bouncing around.
You showed me how to do this. You gotta pull the lever.
Pull the lever,
And you got to shake them on there.
shake them down, but put your
Shake
finger
it
over
like
the
a
hole.
Polaroid picture, as
I feel-
Outcast
I
said.
feel kind of cool back here. I just feel like I should push buttons. I don't know what any of the buttons do.
Well, don't
then
send us
clearly
to break.
Oh, I mean.
Or you
that-
could. I mean,
All right.
This is oh, yeah, there you go.
All right, here we go.
Move it a little more. There you
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah.
That
I
was.
saw the indention on that
Yeah.
All right, punishment paid.
one. All right.
Wow, Marshy.
Marshy.
Nice job there, Marsh. Was the distance a little better this time around?
yes.
Okay,
It was
good.
more, that's our original distance was
Yeah.
that. And then Carey joined the
Carey-
show, and he decided to
he
walk.
shot me
6
last week from the trash can, which is about 2 feet away.
Found a pellet in my shoe.
Oh, you can take that home with you.
yeah.
All right, Marsh, I don't want to see you get pelted
Well, you know
the rest
what?
of the season.
I thought these shorts were going to be a problem, but they're a little like baggy towards my leg.
Well, good.
And I'd say about 3 of the shots hit the like fluffy part of my shorts, so it really didn't hurt as bad as I
good
thought.
planning, Marshy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good.
So that last one stung a little bit.
I saw that one.
Stung a little bit.
It was a little higher on the cheek.
A little higher on the cheek, yeah. Well, hey, you're done. Done deal.
Marshy's got those buns of steel, though.
Yeah, he does. He's been working out.
Yep.
You can obviously tell. Marsh, since you were shot 4th, or 4 shots, I should say. Now.
Yeah.
What was your most regrettable pick?
Maybe. Well, obviously Monday Night Football.
So you wish you put in a better score.
Yeah, pretty much.
Essentially.
What was your score?
Oh, I couldn't tell
Nobody
you.
can remember that.
I went Rams
that.
24-21 over the Dolphins.
All right, so you were in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
You were eating good.
You got to figure out. We do need to figure out how this.
It's supposed to be the final
Calculates.
score. but-
At one point, I
Of the
thought it was
Monday night
certain games were weighted differently.
Yeah.
Like if you pick a certain underdog in a game and they win, it's weighted a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Certain favorites are so much of a favorite that it's less points for that one.
Right.
This is what I thought. I don't know if any of
Yeah,
it to be
nobody
true.
does.
I don't know if I have like a real regrettable pick. Like the Steelers Commanders, I went with the Commanders, but I mean the Commanders are a good football team. I think that game could have went either way. It was a 1-point game. Falcons Saints, I don't think anybody was picking the Saints.
Should have.
We should have saw it coming. So I have to think it was the Monday Night Football game
All right, there you go.
and the score.
Mark's going to be better this week. I know it. I absolutely know it. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Is it a no-brainer for the Cardinals to trade Ryan Helsley this offseason? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Who you choose to sell your home matters, especially in this changing market, the way things are going. The market's up, the market's down, interest rates are all over the place. You need someone who is great at what they do, and that is Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria's different. She'll guarantee to sell your home at the agreed upon price, or Gloria will buy it herself. And when selling your home, you want the most money and the least hassle. That's exactly what you get when you hire Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. She just knows the market. She knows exactly what the price is to ask for your home, and she's got a database with thousands of ready buyers just sitting there and direct more traffic to your listing, hopefully give you exactly what you're asking for, maybe even multiple offers, which would mean more money for you in the end of it all. And all you have to do is call Gloria Liu today. Call Gloria, tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. That number's 314-325-6888. Again, that number's 314-325-6888. Or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Conditions do apply. Gloria and the seller must agree upon price and possession date.
Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Guys, is it a foregone conclusion / no-brainer that the Cardinals trade Ryan Helsley this offseason? He's got a final year of arbitration, and then he becomes an unrestricted free agent at age 31 in 2026.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go back to what we've said. Carey's been preaching this for a while now, is you trade the guy at the peak of his market. Now, the peak, the ultimate peak would be if he stayed with the Cardinals and had a first half of the season like he had last year, and the trade deadline comes around, you'd probably get the most back in return for a team that's looking to contend for a World Series in that moment. Mm-hmm. The second best time is right now. He's coming off an unbelievable season as a closer for the Cardinals, arguably the best in the game, period, dot, full stop at that point. You're going to get a pretty good haul for him, but you're going to have to be dealing with a team that expects to be a contender, because no team that's mediocre or less really is worried about a closer, because they're not ahead in enough games to worry about closing the game out. Right. So it's your regular Dodgers, Yankees. Like maybe the Orioles is an interesting one because they're looking to take that next step. Mm-hmm. Maybe they will give you some of their young prospects or talent.
That would be nice.
That would be nice. But so I think if you're smart, baseball smart, I think you move him in the offseason.
I agree with you. I think waiting until the trade deadline would probably be too risky if he doesn't perform in the manner in which he has this past season. You can risk injury, you risk not performing well. All of those things, if you're going to move on now, and arbitration in baseball, like I've told y'all, this is so weird to me. Like, how are you going to tell Ryan Helsley, well, you don't deserve this much? What did you do last year? I led the league in saves.
Let's isolate that for a moment.
You could have had more.
You could have done more.
Let's isolate that for a moment. What do you go to? If you're John Mozeliak, like, a couple of years ago, you got hurt. Your durability. But last year, every time that I was called upon, I pitched and I closed the game.
Yeah, as a fluke.
Why do you want me here? We need you.
That would be a weird arbitration.
It's so weird to have to battle for the money that you've earned, and somebody telling you you're really not as good as you think you are.
The Brewers made the argument against Corbin Burns that
Best in the league.
they didn't make the playoffs because of him.
See,
A couple years
Once
ago.
every 5 days, it was his fault.
I think it's so weird. So
the dumbest
instead of
thing.
going through that and having that whole ordeal, again, if you can get something in return, I personally think. And okay, the Cardinals felt like they still had a chance to make it to the playoffs last year, which is why you didn't move on from them. Hindsight being 2020, you really didn't have a chance. But right now would probably be the best time because I would not want him to get injured. I would not want his stock to fall because he's not performing well, getting hit all over the place. If you're going to do it and you want the highest value, it would be right now.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I've thought about reasons to hold on to him, but there really aren't. We're not talking about somebody that is 26. He's a reliever. He's a closer. You might as well find a landing spot for him, get high value in return, and then use one of your other guys to close games next year. You're not in a position where you're a contender next season. The last 2 seasons have proven that. You're starting over. You might as well jumpstart things by trading Ryan Helsley at his absolute highest value. It makes no sense otherwise. So if Ryan Helsley, and Jim Bowden put this together in an article for The Athletic. Nope.
Yeah, sure.
That's Bobby Bowden. This is Jim Bowden.
That's his brother.
15 notable MLB players who could be traded this offseason. Helsley was 4th on this list. Another Cardinal did make the list.
Let me
Actually,
guess.
2 more made the list.
One play third base,
Yep.
and the other one, pitcher.
Yes. Go ahead, Jamie.
Nolan Arenado.
Yep.
And Miles Michaelis.
Sonny Gray was the other one.
He was? Okay.
But they did make an amendment there, or an author's note. Katie Wu has reported that Gray wants to stick
That's why
around.
I didn't say that.
Right. So he was on the list, but kind of with a caveat. Nolan Arenado was the other guy. So Nolan Arenado is one of, if not the best defensive third baseman I've ever seen. He's a future Hall of Famer, in my opinion. However, he's in serious decline and will turn 34 next April. Over the past 3 seasons, his slugging percentage has dropped from .533 to .459 to .394, and his home run output fell from 30 to 26 to just 16 this past season. He is in steady decline.
It's not good.
Cardinals are going to have to absorb some of the contract to move him. Rockies are on the hook still for $5 million in both 2025 and 2026. But otherwise, Cardinals, again, they're going to have to eat some of this contract, get out of what you can, get what you can, and move on.
Would it make sense to trade him now, or maybe wait and see if that upside does occur, and then you can get rid of him at the deadline?
Yeah, I'm moving on now.
Now?
Yep. Because you also figure, too, that's reps for somebody else at third base.
For sure.
And if you're in a development phase right now, and the Cardinals have said as much, you might as well give those reps to a young guy that you think could be your next third baseman. I think that this makes a lot of sense. Now, Jim Bowden said, if a team loses out on Alex Bregman, who's a free agent, and Willie Adames, who's a free agent, maybe they take a swing at Arenado as the next best option. Again, you're gonna have to eat some of this contract, but getting out of this deal right now, I think, makes a lot of sense for the Cardinals. And who knows? Maybe he's the one player that. Who was it? It was it was John Denton. John Denton, who had it in the paragraph of all the players that have no trade clauses. There was one of the players reportedly asked to not be a part of the rebuild. We know it wasn't Sonny Gray. The other list of players, it kind of makes sense that you circle Nolan Arenado's name as the one guy who said, "Hey, you know what?" And I'm just speculating, but I don't want to be a part of a rebuild. Absolutely,
He did in Colorado. Didn't want to be a part of that.
yeah.
I mean, I can't blame him because just the same reason that we're kind of bashing him, saying he's getting older, his production's getting worse. Do you want to spend the next couple of years, maybe the last 2 productive years that you can have left or whatever it is, playing for a team that's in a rebuild? No. He has never won. Maybe he's part of the reason of that. Maybe he's not. I don't know. But I'm sure he'd like to try and at least play for a team that can win.
He's got to be a part of a stacked team if he's going to win. Like, let's be real about this.
He's not carrying anybody.
He's not carrying. He wasn't carrying anybody in his prime alone.
Well, he certainly never carried anybody in the postseason.
No. So he's going to have to be a part of like a Dodgers type.
Trying.
That's good enough for you?
No, not at all.
Thank you. Yeah, he's going to have to be a part of a stacked team. Can't be the guy.
If you're the Cardinals, what do you keep? He's owed $21 million by the Cardinals next year. Do you keep 10? Yeah, 11, half of it.
You try to get half of it off your books.
I'd eat 10. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot. 10's a lot, but I'd eat it.
Okay. That does sound like a lot. Yeah. I mean, but you're at the point now, if you're cutting salary, if you're cutting salary, why do you keep staring at him like that?
I don't know.
If you're cutting salary.
I just want to know what the hell's wrong with him.
Half is half.
Have you met him?
Sorry, 10.5. Is that better?
Yeah.
Have you met him? He's every day. It's a little
something there.
I don't know what goes on in there. I never want to be in there.
Oh, come on.
You know what? I would for 5 minutes. I would just like to know. Just roam around.
It's chaos.
Oh my goodness! All right, let me out. But no, if you could keep $10 million, if you keep $10 million on your salary for a team that is cutting payroll instead of paying them 21, I think you're probably okay with that.
Yeah.
Like and if he's not on the roster, it opens up spots. Do you put Nolan Gorman at third base? Do you bring Jordan Walker back into the infield? Like this is all about opening up opportunities for your younger players. Like they need to be able to play every day without somebody looking over their shoulder, and somebody, waiting in the wings to take that spot.
Yeah.
Give them the opportunity to play, make their mistakes, figure out what works for them, what doesn't work, and learn how to be a pro. And then in a few years, you will be a better team because of it.
Yeah. Yeah, good call. All right, that's Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. We're going to play Are You Sold next. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. We'll play Are You Sold. If you have a Are You Sold statement that you want to send into the Air Comfort Service text line, you can do so. And again, we'll play it next here on 101 ESPN.
Why buy your next new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Johnny Londoff Chevrolet? Because for over 80 years, they have been providing the best pricing and award-winning service here in the St. Louis and surrounding area. Look, we all know that buying a vehicle is a lot about the price tag. That's fine. You want the best bargain that you could possibly get. But at Londoff Chevrolet, it's more than just a price tag. At Londoff Chevrolet, they want to make buying a vehicle fun. You'll get the best price with the best possible experience. And the Londoff Chevrolet finance team can find you financing even if you have less than perfect credit. It really is the perfect situation to get in and see my friends over at Londoff Chevrolet. They've got two great locations. They got the Florissant, Missouri location, and now the Londoff Autoplex, which is located out in St. Peters, Missouri, right off of Highway 70. And remember, too, that nobody will give you more for your trade-in. That's not trade assistance or value-added pricing. It's straight-up cash, more cash for your vehicle, period, even if you don't purchase from Londoff Chevrolet. So please stop by either location. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. But if you can't get there in person, visit them online at londoff.com or londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
for Are You Sold here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Air Comfort Service text line is 314-399-9646. If you want to participate, you can send an Are You Sold statement in to that Air Comfort Service text line, and maybe you'll have an opportunity to have it read off by the one and only Andrew Marsh, like this.
Oh, there's actually another Andrew Marsh that is going to play football at Michigan, but
well, not that one.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about our Andrew Marsh.
Gotcha.
Oh, you said the off. Got confusing.
Yeah,
Andrew Marsh. It's only one. We count.
Well, I appreciate that, guys. From the 314, are you sold that the Cardinals should trade for Alec Boehm in Philly? He's 28, has a 2-year, $20 million contract. He's supposed to be available. He could be a player that jumpstarts the retool. He is supposed to be available, and he and Contreras in the middle of the lineup could be good.
I love the idea, but I think the Cardinals have already given you the answer here to the test. They're cutting payroll. And if you trade Nolan Arenado and you have to eat half of his contract, are you really going to add in the other half that you're saving by bringing in Joey or Alex Boehm?
No.
You're not. You're just not. You're gonna test Gorman at third or Walker or something like that.
You're going to free up a spot for one of these young guys.
Yes.
I agree.
I would love to do it.
Yeah, Alec Boehm's a really good player. He's a really good player. He would be a good fit. I understand the thought process behind the question. Not dogging the question at all. Yes, I would love it. No, I'm with Jamie. I don't see it either. I don't think they eat half the contract for Arenado and then, like Jamie said, add $10 million player a year.
No, I'm okay. Go with what you got.
Yeah.
That was the purpose of shedding salary.
Yeah.
I don't know why I put that in air quotes.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't know. I mean, maybe because I said that was the purpose of shedding salary. Although,
still.
Well, no, they have to because they're building a facility down in Jupiter.
They're using the money. They're going to spend more money in development.
Yes.
The only thing we know is real estate development.
What?
Doesn't it feel like it just
By McDonald's.
feels a little icky? Like there's that part of me like, oh, this is great. Like they should be spending money in development and bringing in people for the front office because they lacked in that department. You know, like why are the Dodgers so good? Well, yeah, they buy players and stuff, but they have like a ton of people in their front office that know how to basically scout talent and develop it.
Yeah.
So, like, there's that part, but then there's the other part where I'm like, it doesn't feel genuine.
Yeah. Because you can't see it.
Can't see it.
That's exactly why they're doing it. I said before, they're Trojan horsing this whole
You can see the
thing.
player. They sign a player, you can see what
That's
the money
right.
is.
And you can see if they made a good decision or a bad decision.
Right.
With development, is this part of the technology?
Right.
You never know. What are you talking about? It's advanced. Oh, okay. But we hired 2 more guys. Who are they?
You know.
You wouldn't know.
They're in the organization.
Google them.
Yeah.
You wind up being the guy that had the, I don't know what truck it was. I don't know if it was Ford or something like that. Back in the day at World Series, somebody won a truck.
Yeah, Chevy.
A Chevy truck. Yeah, that's what it was. And the guy came out and clearly he was not camera ready. Came out and he goes, trying to talk about the features.
Oh,
He
yeah,
goes,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's got technology and stuff.
Like
Poor
your
guy.
Chevy, that's what you rolled out there? Not the truck, but the human being?
I wonder if somebody got sick and then it was Bill's turn. You know, Bill, we need you to go out there and do this.
Or Bill's a big talker in the
Tom's
boardroom.
sick.
Everybody's like, he'd be perfect for it. Then he get up in front of the camera and all the people.
Yep.
It's got technology and stuff.
Yep. Swing and a miss.
I mean, that would be nervous, though. It's like, you guys ever remember, standing in front of the classroom and doing like a speech?
Yeah.
Like, for whatever reason, like, I feel like we could do this, but like when you stand in front of like 10 people,
It's always nerve-wracking
weird.
to give a speech.
I don't know. I never
Always.
worry about that stuff. Honestly, I know you guys find it hard to believe. It never rattled me. I'd get up there and I'd usually, honestly, what I'd do, peek behind the curtain here. Jamie Rivers, Carey, will appreciate this.
I told you, get inside the head.
Is a trick for public speaking is you find 3 people in the room. Someone to the left, someone center, and someone to the right.
Yeah.
And you just focus on them. Don't worry about all the different faces that might be making different expressions. You just focus over this side of the room so it looks like you're talking to the whole room, but you're talking to 3 people.
Yeah.
Well, a classroom's much smaller, so you isolate it to 1 or 2 people. I'd find maybe a cute girl and isolate her. Tell the whole thing. And the whole time you're kind of relaxed. You're having a little fun with it, at the same time. A little flirty, a little not, whatever. And the teacher's like, this kid's great at talking. Like, yep. At a date Saturday night.
It also flips the nervousness. Now they become, you can see the nerve, like, why is he staring at me? I'm talking to you, buddy. You. And all of you.
Well, the person in the classroom too, those 3 people, like all of a sudden they're like, you're looking right at them, so they're going to start to pay attention a little bit more.
They are.
I think it's just
and they start
nature.
engaging. It's amazing. They like nod their head or like, oh yeah, like they make like, oh yeah, like you're actually talking to them. So it's great.
Yeah. There was I took I forgot what class it was. Might have even been like a public speaking class or something like that at Central Michigan, and there was a girl that fainted.
Oh, no.
Just because you looked at her?
No.
That's one of the rules. She's not supposed to look at Anthony in the eyes. She should look at his forehead.
She was so nervous. Her eye,
I know.
Her eye, she was speaking, and all of a sudden, eyes rolled back. She went back, hit her head on the chalkboard. I mean, it was
this is a horrible story.
It was a horrible thing.
It was a horrible moment.
Okay.
She was all right. She was fine.
She's fine?
Yeah.
What was her name?
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, it was a tough day for her. But you know what? She battled through it.
Did she have to give the speech?
Yeah, she had to give it again.
Oh, man.
Not that day, but she came back. She came back and gave it, and you know what?
Did she start the whole thing over, or did they let her pick up where she left off?
For her when she got
Absolutely.
done? Good for you.
Absolutely.
Did you jump up and help her?
I did. I was in the back, though. By that point, it was...
Everyone else was already there.
It seemed redundant, for me to... I did jump up.
Text like goes, that's how you got Atlantis.
That's how you got Alanis Morissette.
No, not true.
All right, from the 636, are you sold? Pavel Buchnevich at center is a failure, and the Blues' record would be better at this point of the season if he was a winger.
I don't know that to be true. I have no idea.
Who else you going to play at center?
Yeah, Carey, that is very true. It's true. In theory, you could. Like you could with Robert Thomas if he was healthy, because the Buchnevich experiment started with Thomas healthy. Right. Let's not forget that. And if Robert Thomas is healthy, look at your lineup right now. Mm-hmm. You would have Thomas, Schenn, Faksa, Sundqvist.
You'd be good to go.
You'd be good to go. But you don't have Thomas, and you kind of sort of trust and don't trust Holloway at center. Mm-hmm. So you're left with very few replacements, and Pavel Buchnevich is just a great all-around player, so he battles through it. Do I think it's the best spot for him? No, I don't. That's just my opinion, but I'm also not a coach, and I'm not in the front office, and so it doesn't really matter what I think.
Yeah. Well, it does.
But I mean, to the Blues, it doesn't matter.
We care.
Thank you, Anthony.
From the 801, are you sold that Sidney Crosby will finish the season as a Pittsburgh Penguin?
Yes, I am sold. Sidney Crosby is a very loyal player to his organization. He's superstitious. He's a weirdo. This is why he signed for $8.7 million for the last 12 years of his career. He's left, what do we say, $40 million on the table just because he won't go past 8.7. You think that guy's putting on a different jersey? I highly doubt it. He's already won a couple of cups, right? If this was a Ray Bourque situation where he's a lifelong Bruin for 21 years and it's the last year of his career, and he wanted to go win a Stanley Cup because, it's something Sidney Crosby doesn't have, then maybe. But right now, the way it sits, I don't think he leaves Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't either. All right, we are going to talk with one of Jamie's former teammates.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Muckalt is going to join us. He is the Lindenwood hockey coach. Got a big win earlier this year against Wisconsin. And we're going to talk to Bill about what it takes to build a program, especially at this level. And maybe we'll get a story or two out of him.
Oh, boy.
About Jamie Rivers. Which one was it? Was it the Islanders?
Islanders and Senators.
Islanders and Senators.
Yes.
So Lindenwood head coach Bill Muckalt is going to join us next. We'll talk to him here on 101 ESPN.
Are you tired of those gambling apps that they don't have great money lines? The payouts aren't what they should be. They're selling you on promos and not product. Then head over to Circa Sports Illinois, the app. Visit the website, or you can find them on the App Store. It's the best app out there. It gives you the best odds, the best money line splits, the tightest money line splits that they've got. No betting limits at all. And all of that was part of my buddy Derek Stevens' vision. His vision was to create the largest sports book in Las Vegas. Well, he did that with Circa Casino, and it really is an awesome site when you go and visit there. But now he's bringing the world's biggest sports book right to your fingertips, and in doing so, it's very easy to use. You download the app and you get on there. It gives you all the odds. There's prop bets. There's parlays that you can set up. It really is awesome what they're able to do. And it brings that old school sports betting right to your fingertips. And again, the payouts are better than most, if not all, the other apps that are out there available. So don't miss out on the action. Download and bet like a pro with your Circa Sports Illinois app today and join in on all the excitement. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234. ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a SportsCenter update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues take on the Boston Bruins tonight, looking to bounce back after losing to the Washington Capitals over the weekend by a final score of 8-1. You can listen to that one right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We'll have Jamie's keys to the game coming up here soon, so stick around for that. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the SportsCenter update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We will talk to Lindenwood hockey head coach Bill Muckalt here in a second. Jamie's former teammate with the New York Islanders and the Ottawa Senators.
Yes.
Tracking down the coach right now, in fact. We do have the Stan Musial Awards tickets to give away. So every day this week we have a shot to score pair tickets to this year's Musial Awards at Stiefel Theater on Saturday, November 23rd. The Musial Awards celebrate the year's greatest moments of sportsmanship and those in sports who embody class and character. This year's honorees include Hall of Fame broadcaster Bob Costas and NFL great Larry Fitzgerald Jr. Text in with free tickets right now to the Musial Awards now at 314-399-9646. You could also register to win tickets at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 ESPN mobile app. Your trivia question today is, I just gave you two of the teams that Jamie and our next guest played together on. So name one of them. Be the 101st texter to the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646, and you get the free awards. Free tickets, I should say. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. We head to the Thompson and Collier phone line right now. We're joined by Lindenwood head coach and Jamie's former teammate, Bill Muckalt, right now on the celebrity line. Coach, how are you?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on.
All right, Billy, let's break it down here. You were with the University of Michigan for a long time, and then the opportunity comes up to coach at Lindenwood. You know, what were your thoughts during that process, and what made this offer attractive to you?
Yeah, I think, first of all, our athletic director, Jason Coomer, when I came to St. Louis and had really good conversations with him and met with our president, Dr. Porter, and just their vision for what the program could be. I was extremely impressed with campus at Lindenwood and the facilities at Centene Ice Arena, and just really bought into the belief of continuing to build and grow this program as it's a newer Division I program.
Coach, I always like to ask college coaches this question, whether it be baseball, basketball, football, hockey. When you are recruiting young athletes, what are you looking for in that athlete to say, you know what, this person can come play for us?
Yeah, I mean, three things that we really, really look for is want kids that are serious about academics and take advantage of academics. We're building people, growing men. Kids are going to be growing up and be husbands and fathers and pillars in their community, and hopefully want to stay involved in the game. And then lastly, and not leastly, we want players that have high hockey IQ, that are have dreams and aspirations to play in the National Hockey League. They're competitive, they're coachable, and they want to make others around them better. Those are things that we're looking for as we establish our culture.
Bill Muckalt joins us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. He's Lindenwood's head hockey coach. Coach, so building off what Carey just asked you, what is the most challenging aspect of the job then?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot. I mean, it's kind of like a recipe and getting ingredients and making a good meal. If you kind of want to translate it into to cooking, we can all relate to that a little bit, I think. But there's just a lot of different pieces that go into building a culture and growing. And it starts with recruiting, and then obviously, our systems and our structure and our work ethic and our compete. Right now, an area where we're probably gripping our sticks a little bit tight and maybe not scoring as much as we would like. So we're definitely putting an emphasis on that in our drill design and our practice plans.
So, Bill, when you're recruiting kids now, and I don't know what the landscape is like in the hockey world, but we hear a lot about NIL, especially with the big colleges in football, and I'm sure the basketball factories are dealing with that too. Where is the NIL when it comes to hockey overall at the collegiate level, and then also within your program? How big of a factor is it?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question it's huge, and the Power 4, Power 5, big programs in football and basketball, and I know wrestling is, they're doing some good things. I know when we had some high-profile players at Michigan, whether it was card deals or commercial deals, they were making, some pretty good money. But for the most part, it's kind of, I don't know if it's really touched the mid-majors as much, but it's certainly an aspect where you're starting to see name and image likeness, for the student athlete. And, that's prevalent, and it's a lot of decisions. I think it's kind of the Wild West, and it's new, and it's exciting, and it's good for the student athlete in some cases, but I don't know how well they regulate it, or you hear stories all the time of people not following through with payments. So, I think it's all over the map.
Coach, you all had a huge win earlier this year against number 9 Wisconsin. What was that like for your young men? How did they respond, and how proud of them were you at that moment?
Yeah, that's every day we're fighting for credibility within the college hockey world. Whether it's every victory, every game, every play matters for our program in so many different ways. But really happy for our group. We've been extremely competitive in every game we've played, and tough weekend against number 1 Denver, but we hung in there right until the midway through the third period on Saturday night in a 1-1 game against a team that I think hasn't lost in 20 games. So, I'm really proud of the way our team's coming together and how we're sticking together.
Bill, Carey just mentioned the Wisconsin win, and then you just touched on the 2 losses against Denver. You've taken on some big teams this season in the college hockey world, but now you have Ohio State at home. How do you keep your kids focused now that the game is on your home ice?
Yeah, I mean, you can always, talk about distractions, whether it's families coming in, girlfriends, all that stuff, schoolwork, but all those things, just proper time management. And then when it comes to the game, who can't get up to play in a game like that? So I think we're excited for it and looking forward to it. We know that they're a blue blood program that is off to a great start, and they've got a lot of depth, and we're going to have to be at our best. But I know our team will be up to the challenge, and look forward to playing at Centene. And for any of the listeners out there, tickets are still available at $7 a piece, a discounted. I believe the promo code's ESPN 101. So it'd be, I know, just a great opportunity to come out and support and see college hockey and in a great environment.
Yeah, I was just going to follow up with that, Billy, is, how hard is it to get teams to come here for some of these games? Because, a lot of your schedule, I see a lot of away games. Last year, there was a lot of away games. And as you build the program, you're certainly trying to get more weekends here at home so you can show people here the product and just how awesome college hockey is.
Yeah, no question. And you hit it right on the head is early on to schedule some of these games. A lot of times we're going on the road for 2 weekends to get a set of one weekend at home. I think next year we have 20 home games. So, we're continuing to build that and be more opportunity for our fans and the community and university to rally around our program. But that's part of building a program. But to have a quality opponent like this should be a great weekend for college hockey.
All right, Coach. So you were teammates with this handsome devil of ours sitting next to me. Tell me what he was like as a teammate, and if you got any stories, because we're here with him every day, and he's hilarious, and he's always going. I'm scared to get inside of his head, but I want to know what he was like as a teammate that you were around all the time.
Well, first of all, you know, what's in the locker room stays in the locker room. So we'll just start with that. That'll keep me out of trouble and keep him out of trouble. But, just a great teammate, really well liked, and really lighthearted and funny would be some of the things that came on. Just a great personality and a talent too. He was a great defenseman and offensive defenseman and such a good player and really good teammate. So, you know, I just can't elaborate on any more dirt on Riv.
All right, well, can't say we didn't try, Coach. So.
Well said, Bill. You passed the deposition.
Hey, Coach, best of luck moving forward. We appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on with us.
My pleasure, guys. All right, Rivs, take care of those two, will you?
I got you, buddy. And good luck this weekend, man.
Thanks, pal. Okay.
All right,
Talk to you guys later.
Thanks, Coach.
That's Lindenwood head hockey coach Ben Muckalt, who was a teammate with Jamie's in Ottawa and with the Islanders.
Yeah. Billy was awesome, too. I mean, he started in Vancouver, and he could shoot the puck, man. Just a natural goal scorer, a good guy. And we were, like, when he got traded to the Islanders, he came along with Dave Scatchard and Kevin Weeks. Big blockbuster trade, like 2 weeks before the Christmas break. And, you know, I tell the story all the time. The Islanders, we were like the land of misfit toys. Mm-hmm. There's a whole bunch of young players from all over the league that they had acquired because they planned on trying to build this thing up. Yeah. Had we not had Mike Milbury as a GM, we probably would have built it up into something a little better than it ended up. But great personalities. We had a lot of fun on that team. The locker room was never boring. The road was never boring. And it was a good time.
What is that like getting traded to a team where there's players on that team that you've played with? Does it change the perspective of when you do get? Because I'm assuming when you get traded, it's a very like it stinks, right?
Yeah.
But like, what is that like when you meet back up with guys that you've played with before, that you knew from before? Like, what is that like?
Well, it's always good for the guy coming in, right? Mm-hmm. Like, so if you're the new guy coming into the situation, it's awesome to have a guy or two that you've played with before because everybody talks about it first. Like, I remember when we got Billy in Ottawa, I'd already played with them with the Islanders, and you have a chance to kind of prep the locker room. Hey, Billy's a great guy, good player, solid dude. Listen, he's a guy you guys want to have beers with. You know? So now it sets the stage for that player coming into the locker room. There's already a positive review about that player. And then he will automatically migrate to the people he knows, but then it's easier to kind of introduce people and all that. So for me, the hardest part was when I went to the Islanders. That was the first time I had ever been traded. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really have anybody that I played with before. I had a couple of guys I'd played junior hockey against, which helps too because there's familiarity there. And then it doesn't take long to get to know your teammates. You know how it is in hockey, and especially with the team that we were battling every night. We were a black and blue team. Like, we didn't have a lot of talent, so we were going to run you out of the building. And when you have a style of game like that, you learn to come together quickly, or you end up murdered out there on the ice.
That's awesome. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. That's Jamie Rivers. Jamie's got his 975 keys to victory tonight as the Blues take on the Bruins. Plus, we got our Light the Lamp game.
Yes.
On 101 ESPN. Yeah. That's all next. Hey, low finance rates available right now on Pathfinders, Rogues, Altimas. It's all available at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. The Black Friday everyday event has been extended at Auto Centers Nissan through December 2nd. So you're going to find Black Friday deals every single day out in Herculaneum and online at AutoCentersNissan.com. Talking about brand new Nissan Kicks that are priced right around $20,000. Brand new Nissan Sentras are now priced around $23,000, both with low payment options for all credit types. So if you're a first-time borrower or somebody with some credit challenges, no worries. They'll finance the vehicle for you at AutoCenters Nissan Herculaneum. You can look for massive Black Friday dealer discounts upwards to $10,000 off MSRP on select Nissan models, and with over 700 vehicles all in one location out in Herculaneum, you're bound to find the perfect vehicle to match your lifestyle and your budget, whether that's for you, somebody within the family. Maybe you're looking for a first-time driver that you want to make sure that you have a nice, reliable vehicle that's priced fairly. You'll find it at Auto Centers Nissan. Check them out online, AutoCentersNissan.com, or out in Herculaneum. And when you do visit them, tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan. Tonight, the Blues will take on the Bruins. Pregame right here on 101 ESPN starting at 6 o'clock. This is Jamie's last segment with us before he heads downtown. But before he does, he's got to give us his 967 keys to victory tonight for the Blues over the Bruins.
Well, tonight's a night.
It feels like a lot of keys, Jamie. I think you should just keep it simple.
Yeah. Well, Carey, you apparently you have spent some time in my head.
Yeah. Just keep it simple.
Yeah. I wrote down a few things here that I'll say these, but then I will circle just the one that really matters.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense. Sure.
So first period is a must. You got to play good. You had a horrible third period last game. First period has not been great for you this year. Have a good first period. Also, establish your forecheck. You couldn't get anything going the other night. You were, a day late and $1 short on your forecheck, and it cost you in a big way. You couldn't sustain any offensive zone pressure, and it let Washington just break out at will and go down and try and score goals on your end. Next one is more pucks to the net. I still don't feel like the Blues shoot the puck nearly enough, or at least try to. And when you're not scoring goals, it helps if you put pucks to the net. I mean, it's crazy how that works. But
yeah, I don't really understand that.
Yeah,
but
That's crazy.
makes sense,
Crazy talk.
I guess.
more volume of pucks to the net. Got to get that power play going, too. Somehow, some way, you got to try and find a way to score a goal. I'm not asking for the world here, guys. Just score one goal on home ice. You've yet to do it this season.
What?
Yeah, it's tough, but that will help you if you can get that going. And then the one that I kind of highlighted and circled and said that we could just do this is compete for a full 60 minutes. That's it. That's what I'm telling my team tonight. If I'm Drew Bannister, you've gone through all of the little details, the systematical things and all this and the line changes. My pregame speech is easy. I walk in and say, if I'm you guys, I don't want to come in this room at the end of the game knowing that I took even one shift off tonight. Mm-hmm. Tonight, we go, everybody, full 60 minutes, we roll them.
Yeah.
We compete.
I like
That's it.
All right. You highlighted some good ones there.
Oh, thank you very much, Anthony. Your approval means a lot to me.
I'm sure it does.
It does.
Absolutely. All right. And you've been approved to play Light the Lamp right now on 101 ESPN.
When a couple of guys can really shoot the puck.
Shoot! I must confess you scored first.
Well, who was the first person?
Breakaway! Shoots! Score!
We got hockey to learn.
All right, Andrew Marsh has got the honors.
All right, give me Jordan Carey.
Hey. Not a bad pick.
All right, well, give me Jake Neighbors.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Carey.
Give me Joseph.
Yes, that's a good pick.
Which one?
Either. Can I?
Good question. Excellent effort by Carey. Yes.
That was good.
Give me Matthew Joseph.
Give me Dylan Holloway.
I like that too.
Thank you.
Guys, I like all your picks today. I hope they all score.
That'd be nice.
Be great.
Twice.
Yeah,
3 times.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Run it up, baby.
Yeah. Blues Bruins tonight, right here on these airwaves, 101 ESPN.
What do you guys want from the team tonight? Like, I kind of outlined some things, but for you guys, like, what do you want to see the most?
I want a first period goal.
Okay.
First.
Dylan Holloway.
Like first.
Like, score the first
Score
goal.
the first goal in the first period.
Okay.
I mean, if you score in the first minute, I'm cool with that too.
That'd be
Yeah,
nice.
so I might be asking too much.
But you've let the other team do it twice now.
Yeah. It's your turn.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
So when they beat the Lightning 3-2, we said before the game, so hey, keep the game tight, get into the third period. That is my expectation for this Blues team every single time. That's what I want to see. Even up one, I mean, if they're up several, that'd be great.
It's nice, yeah.
It'd be nice. But just get the damn game into the third period. You're down multiple players. You're in a spot where you're just trying to tread water. Get the game to the third period, and then let that period be a standalone period. You got your rear end handed to you the other night, but against the Lightning, that's all you did. I believe they were up, 1 goal heading into the third period?
Yeah, locked it down pretty good.
Locked it down in the third period, won a game 3-2. So that is what I want to see. That's my expectation, whether you're playing the Capitals, the Bruins, the Lightning, or the Ducks. That's what I'm hoping for.
Marshall, what about you?
I'd like to see consistent ozone time, specifically below the dots. Work them down low, and then when you find your opportunity, maybe throw it up to the point, get a shot on net, get guys in front. Like, I don't think that if they're going to win, like this team, they don't come off as like we're going to score highlight reel goals. Like, they got to be dirty goals. Like, every goal counts. Doesn't matter how it looks. And I feel like where the Blues are, even just getting some of those dirty goals, like that could open some things up. So I'd like to see that, and good line changes. That was the big thing that we've talked about this week. Drew Bannister highlighted it. Good line changes, especially in the second period with the long change. I think that's huge. The Blues, they've had a few good second periods in this season, specifically the game against Carolina. Great second period. It changed the whole dynamic of that game. So I'd like to see that tonight. And, there's a lot of things that I would like to see from this team. Those are a few.
We have
things.
high expectations, Andrew. It's okay.
I do. I want them to win.
Yeah.
So, and I think they can. I think they can. I think that's why sometimes I get so frustrated because I know how good this team can play because we've seen it before.
Yeah, and I do think, I believe this, too, that we'll see a better effort. I believe we're going to see a first period that has a certain amount of chaos to it. And what I mean by that is lots of hits, pucks to the net, traffic in front. I'm anticipating a group that plays a little grumpy tonight.
Can they just drop the gloves as soon as
they can do whatever they want?
Just do that.
They can do that.
Fight.
Would you rather see multiple guys try and run dudes through the boards, or would you rather see more pucks on net?
Both.
Both?
Yeah, everybody can do. Listen, this is a team that doesn't have anybody that's above the law. And what I mean by that is you don't have one singular player that's I don't really hit. I just shoot the puck. I'm just a goal scorer. You don't have that. Jordan Kyrou is kind of Robert Thomas, those guys. But even Jordan Kyrou last game was a terrible game for the team, but he had 3 hits. And he finished his hits. He actually did it on purpose. And so that shows me he's capable of doing it. So what I'm anticipating tonight is, or what I would like to see, is the physicality that leads to more pucks to the net.
There you go. All right, Jamie. Nice job today. Get the hell out of here.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Take the rest of the show off.
Yeah.
But work tonight.
I'll see you guys Thursday.
Thursday. There you go. Yeah, because you're traveling tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right.
Thursday, Carey.
Yeah.
What's today?
Tuesday.
It's another day that starts with T.
Yeah. You were born on a Tuesday, remember?
Yeah, I was born on a Friday.
You were born on a Friday, remember?
Yeah, but it was late Thursday.
Yeah.
So it's confusing
it was
sometimes.
Friday morning.
Yeah. Jamie, you were born on a Tuesday.
Sure.
Yeah. So was Marsh.
I actually think I was born on Tuesday.
Yeah, I was.
Really?
You're born on a Tuesday?
I was, yeah.
Wow, Anthony. Explains a lot.
So were you.
I know, exactly. That's why I said it.
I actually don't know if you were.
I have no idea. My mom's probably listening right now going, you know what day you were born on. No, I don't, Mom.
I was born on Tuesday. I just looked it up.
There you go. Tuesday in March.
What did you look up?
You're Friday.
I just looked up my birthday.
The calendar.
It says what happened on this day.
You can look at a calendar and figure out what day you were
this
born
is
on.
famous people.
I know, but in order to see, it says the day of the week. That's basically what I wanted to see was
okay.
what day of the week.
What the hell did Marshy do? Did he somehow up his Wikipedia page?
No, Jamie, we can figure yours out.
Sure we can.
Hold on.
March 16th, 1975.
What day?
The number
Sunday.
one song.
Sunday, bloody Sunday.
It was a Sunday, Jamie. Nice job.
The number one song when I was born was Because You Loved Me by Celine Dion.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
All right. Well, we figured a lot of things out. Now, Jamie, see you later. We got the Gauntlet next on 101 ESPN.
If you're looking to save money on your car and your home insurance, please call Tracy Bibb with the Bibb Agency. They partnered up alongside with Allstate Insurance. And yeah, competitive rates are one thing. It's nice to have a lower rate. But the one thing you want to make sure is that you're properly covered. Because sometimes these insurance companies will give you a low rate, but they'll also give you a low coverage where you're not completely covered properly. Not with the bib agency. They're going to make sure that you're protected, that your family is protected, and they're going to fight for you to get you the lowest rate that they possibly can. They're not a 1-800 number, so you don't have to worry about trying to figure out who you're talking to or try to explain everything to them all the time. You call someone at the bib agency and you talk directly to them. They get to know you, they get to know your family, and then anything that you need. Sometimes you're out and you need your insurance card for something. You don't have it. They'll send you a picture of that quickly right to your phone, and then you don't have to worry about it. That's the customer service that I want. That's the customer service that I want for you. And all you have to do is pick up the phone and call Tracy Bibb at 314-328-4260. Again, that's 314-328-4260. It's no fib. You're in good hands with Tracy Bibb. Anthony, there was a short time ago that I felt tired, irritable, just not myself. You start to wonder if is it things you're eating? Is it what you're doing? Is it vitamins that you're taking?
So shut it down. That was it.
Pretty much.
Didn't do a darn thing about it, did you?
No, and it was kind of depressing. And then I just kind of let it fester. Then I finally went and saw our friends over at Mentality. And once they sat down with me, the board-certified physicians talked to me, they already knew what was inevitable. I didn't know. So they did a full blood panel. It finds out I was low in testosterone as well as a couple other vitamins. And now that I'm on the program that's specific to me, it's completely different. Everything's changed.
Yeah, I talked to you at one point. I said, Jamie, what's your deal? And you're like, what?
Which I thought it was weird to say.
Yeah, I said, no, what's your deal? All of a sudden, you're happy. You're working out all the time. What's your problem? And you said, you know what, follow me. So we went down to Mentality together. Mentality is great. The program is fantastic. The program, in fact, is covered by most insurances, so you don't have to worry about that aspect of it. But go see them. 2 different locations, one in South County, one in Chesterfield. You also visit them online at lowtusa.com. Again, lowtusa.com. But just talk to them about the program. It has worked wonders for Jamie and I. We've been on it for a while now. The workouts are a heck of a lot better and easier. The getting throughout the course of the day is better. When it comes to the high energy and all that, it's fantastic. It's Mentality. Tell them Jamie and Anthony sent you.
Warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
4:05, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. And speaking of Marsh, you wanted to read a text off.
Yes, I did. And this is from our current Gauntlet contestant, Dan. And this is a reason why Dan is competing in the Gauntlet today. This is what it says. My dearest Fastlane, as I sit down to pen this letter, my heart doth ache with longing. 'Tis 988 fortnights since I last engaged in thy Gauntlet competition, and the void hath seemed an eternity. In this desolate expanse, memories of thy thrilling challenges sustain me. My soul yearns for the rush of adrenaline, the thrill of victory. Forever yours, Dan.
Well, Dan, welcome in, man. That was fantastic.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I used AI to do it. But
I was about to say, People used to really write like that. Now we can't even write out full words. We got to abbreviate everything. But you just use technology and stuff to figure that out. But either way, Dan, very creative. Nice job.
Thank you.
All right. Would you like to take on Carey, Marsh, or me in the gauntlet today?
I think I'm going to take on you, Anthony.
Ooh, back to back. Okay.
Back to back.
All right. Dan, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, you get out of here, Anthony Stalter. Tony Hockey. Hey, that worked. All right, Dan, you know how this goes. Tell Marshy to spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel, Marshy.
Is there a particular category that you're looking for, Dan?
Competitive eating.
I don't know how you would do that over the radio.
Well, competitive eating would fall into the category of random.
Yes, you got random.
All right.
All right, Dan, so you know how this goes. You answer the question correctly. Without the options, you get 2 points. You answer correctly with the options, you get 1 point. And if you answer incorrectly, you get 0. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Anthony hates random.
All right, here we go. Which of the WNBA's Eastern Conference teams just dismissed its head coach on Sunday, October 27th?
Chicago, I think. I can't remember the name. Chicago Sky. Final answer.
Question number 2. What is the type of bread whose name loosely translates to fart demon in German?
Oh, geez. Options?
Your options are Dinkelbrot, Pumpernickel, or sourdough.
Let's go with Pumpernickel.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Perfect.
Yep.
Question number 3. Oh, let me write that down. In Victor Hugo's The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the bell ringer Quasimodo falls in love with a dancer by the name of...
My daughter's going to kill me for not remembering this. Well, what are the options?
Is it Esmeralda, Octavia, or Angelica?
Esmeralda. Final answer.
Question number 4. The first Halloween traditions began where? We need the country, please.
Ooh, options.
Options are Romania, Ireland, or Finland.
I'm going to say Romania. Final answer.
All right.
Get Anthony back in here. Dan, how do you feel?
Well, they don't call me you have chosen poorly for nothing.
All right, Anthony is walking back in. He's putting his headphones on. Anthony, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. You guys were laughing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Dan must have said something funny.
He did, actually.
Okay.
How's the cone of silence? Silent?
It's silent again.
Really?
Real quiet. Yeah, but that's how it's supposed to be.
That's why it's called the cone of silence.
I want to lock in for this hockey.
Anthony.
Yes.
Your category is?
Random.
Oh, no, not random.
Pack a lunch.
Yeah, I believe that.
Question number 1. Which of the WNBA's Eastern Conference teams just dismissed its head coach on Sunday, October 27th?
Indiana Fever. Final answer.
Question number 2. What is the type of bread whose name loosely translates to fart demon in German?
Good question. I don't know. Can I have the options, please?
Options are Dinkelbrot, Pumpernickel, or sourdough.
Let's go with sourdough. Final answer.
Question number 3. In Victor Hugo's The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the bell ringer Quasimodo falls in love with a dancer by the name of?
I don't know. I'll need the options, please.
Is it Esmeralda, Octavia, or Angelica?
Esmeralda, Octavia, or who?
Angelica.
Octavia. Final answer.
Question number 4. The first Halloween traditions began where? We need the country, please.
All Hallows Eve. I'll take the options.
Your options are Romania, Ireland, or Finland.
Romania, Ireland, or Finland?
That's correct.
I'll go Romania. Final answer.
All right. Well, let's start there. The first Halloween traditions began where? We need the country, please. Dan, with the options, you took Romania. Anthony, also with the options, you took Romania. The correct answer is?
It is Ireland with the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain.
Yeah, it's not true. Dan and I got robbed.
Let's go to the third question. In Victor Hugo's The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the bell ringer Quasimodo falls in love with a dancer by the name of Dan. You said if your daughter hears this, she's going to be upset. You took the options. You said Esmeralda. Anthony, you also took the options. You said Octavia. The correct answer is?
It is Esmeralda.
Dan, you are up 1-0. Let's go to the first question. Which of the WNBA's Eastern Conference teams just dismissed its head coach? Dan, you said the Chicago Sky. Anthony, you also said, you said the Indiana Fever. Neither of you took the options. The correct answer is?
Well, the Indiana Fever did dismiss their head coach on Sunday, October 27th. That is the correct answer. The Chicago Sky dismissed their coach on November 3rd. As of November 3rd, they named... Actually, this guy's name's Tyler Marsh. How about that? He's the new head coach for the Sky.
Marsh's cousin.
So
we gave him we did give you the date, though, on Sunday, October 27th. So the answer is the Indiana Fever.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I know the Sky fired their head coach during the season, right? Or toward the end of the season? Either way.
Sure.
Either way.
Anthony, you are up 2-1. Final question. What is the type of bread whose name loosely translates to fart demon in German? Dan, with the options, you took pumpernickel. Anthony, with the options, you took sourdough. If it's sourdough, Anthony wins 3-1. If it's dinglebrat, which neither of you chose, Anthony wins 2-1. If it's pumpernickel, well, we got a walk-off.
I don't want to walk off.
Dan.
I don't want to
walk it off.
No. All right, here's how this is going to go, Dan. We're going to ask the question. Anthony is going to write his answer down and show us, and after he shows us, you need to immediately tell us your answer. But don't tell us your answer until Anthony shows us his. Okay?
Okay.
All right. In 2008, Marion Jones was sent to prison for lying to federal investigators over using PEDs. How many medals did Jones win during the 2000 Summer Olympics in Australia, only to be stripped of them later?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just going to go with this. I probably...
All right. Anthony's giving us his answer. What's your answer, Dan?
6.
Oh. Anthony, what was your answer?
9.
Yeah.
Dan.
You have chosen wisely.
The correct answer was 5.
Oh, come on.
But your two numbers together gave us Anthony's favorite number. So, it is what it is. Dan, great job, man.
Oh, Dan, nice job. Congrats. I'm so ticked off. I hate
lose when it's sports, so don't worry.
Man, nice job. Nice job, Dan. You'll be back tomorrow. Take on either Marsh or Carey. Congrats.
All right, thanks.
All right,
Good
see
job.
ya.
Bye, guys.
See you, Dan.
No. Hey, at least that doesn't overshoot it too bad.
Yeah, if you'd have said 20, yeah.
I wrote down 22 initially.
That's a lot of gold medals. Or a lot of medals in general.
This is what happens. I panic. I panic in the tiebreaker. I wrote down 22. I go, that's way too much. In my head, I go, that's way too high.
Oh,
way too high.
Summer, how many events?
That's what I thought. No wonder he was so good if he's taking PEDs. This is what I should do every time. I should write down the answer, cross it off, and then go with something lower.
Oh, man.
This is what goes on in my head. I start to panic.
Oh, goodness.
22.
All right, I'm going to go to the penalty box now for college football. The college football movement, what do we want to see tonight as the second installment of the power rankings come out? That's next on 101 ESPN. All right, I'm in the penalty box back here with the goofy mic and the stupid head jack that can you barely. Am I on air? I don't even no idea if I'm on air.
Hey, Anthony, can you bring us on air?
So Fastlane on 101 ESPN. I think I was already on air.
There you go.
I'm in the penalty box after losing yet another tiebreaker where I wanted to overshoot the question, but even my own brain finally kicked in. Still lost. So Dan will be back with us tomorrow. So I'm looking at a Mizzou's path to chaos.
It is chaotic.
And it is chaotic. So this was put together by TMA.
Are you gonna pull it up? Oh, is it 2 sheets? How many sheets?
Wow. Yeah, how many sheets are we working with?
Who are our friends?
Wow, this is a whole thing.
Okay. Well, you wanna do it one at a time?
Yeah. So I wanna highlight here, since this is a college football segment, Mizzou's path to chaos. So there is a caveat that they start off with. Mizzou must run the table. Thank Marsh. Excellent work. Mizzou must run the table in its final 3 games for any of this to be possible, and even then, nothing is guaranteed, writes the TMA folk. Make it to the SEC championship versus Tennessee. How does it happen? And again, if you're a Mizzou fan or if you just love the chaos, this is what it's going to take. Tennessee win out against Georgia and Vandy. Texas A&M loses to Auburn and Texas. Texas loses at Arkansas and versus Kentucky, and they beat A&M. Georgia loses to Tennessee. Ole Miss loses at Florida or in the Egg Bowl versus Mississippi State, which is held annually on Thanksgiving night. Alabama loses to Auburn in the Iron Bowl. And LSU loses at Florida or versus Vanderbilt. So that is Mizzou's path.
I think you could have stopped with the Texas losing to Arkansas and Kentucky. Again, I think
at least those are the 2 teams that tend to be like those 2 teams have been annoying to teams this year.
Yeah, but you're not. Texas isn't going to lose to both of those guys.
Would you have said Alabama wouldn't lose to Vanderbilt in Vandy?
Nah.
Didn't Alabama lose? Didn't they lose to Arkansas? Who else did they lose to?
They lost to
Kentucky.
Tennessee. They lost to Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee. That's right. Oh, Georgia almost lost to Kentucky.
Yeah.
Who did Arkansas? Oh, Arkansas beat Tennessee.
It's chaotic to begin with.
Yeah.
You know how you avoid all that?
Don't lose.
Okay, yeah.
To Vanderbilt, or not Vanderbilt.
To Texas A&M?
Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Or Alabama. But, you know.
The A&M one hurt the most.
Yeah.
The A&M was the one I'm like, oh, you're not for real. That one stung for me.
Mm-hmm.
As somebody that does root for Missouri from the standpoint of I want them to be relevant. I want us to talk about SEC football more. Mm-hmm. Mizzou fans are passionate, and they want us to talk more Mizzou. We're all on board. Mm-hmm. When they lost at A&M, and they got absolutely taken behind the woodshed, that was the realization where I'm like, oh.
They're not good enough.
You're not good enough.
Yeah.
Should we get to the teams that actually have a chance?
Let's do that. All right, so college football playoff committee, they get together again tonight, and they'll release the new rankings. So what sort of movement, Carey Davis, are you hoping for?
Well, I mean, you had Georgia and Miami, both who were leading their conferences, take a loss. So, obviously, Georgia won't have that number 1 through 4 seed at this point. It will more than likely be Texas. And then when you're looking at the ACC, who is Miami still the number 1 team in the ACC at this point? It's so strange to me to watch how this is all going to unfold because there are so many dynamics to how everything is playing out. No, SMU is probably
Miami's
SMU
third now.
Yeah. One
what
loss.
What a loss that wound up
and
being.
So SMU right now is number 14 in the country. They're on the outside of the top 12, which means is Miami not in the college football playoff ranking tonight?
They might not even be in the ACC championship game because Clemson is ahead of them in the standings for the ACC.
It's chaotic, and this is what I think the NCAA wanted in a good way. The chaos that keeps you glued to the TV to Tuesday night. You got to see who is where.
Action.
No.
Central Michigan tonight in the Glass Bowl against Toledo.
Yeah, we saw them last week, and they
covered.
They didn't win, Anthony.
Well, they covered.
Okay, is that the barometer? Is that where?
For Central this year, yes.
Okay.
What do you want from me?
But this is what the NCAA wanted. They wanted chaos. They wanted eyeballs on the TV on Saturday glued in. Like you had Georgia losing to Ole Miss, which was a fantastic game where Jackson Dart goes out in the first quarter, first drive, and you're like, oh, they're done. He throws an interception. Georgia goes down and scores, and you're like, oh, game over. And he comes back and he finished the game and they win. Like it is chaotic, and I think it is the best thing that the NCAA has done. Now I give the NCAA a lot of flack because prior to NIL, it was ridiculous. You had people getting suspended for whatever, but now the NIL has taken place. This is one of the few things that the NCAA has done correctly in a while. Allowing this thing to sort itself out by giving 12 teams an opportunity to play in a playoff and figure it out. The best 12 teams, and people will disagree. I was listening to somebody last week. I can't remember his name, and I forgive me for that. But he was in such disagreement of how good the playoffs are because he didn't feel that – he felt like it's going to still be the top 4 teams that end up playing in those games anyways.
There's no way.
And maybe – but at least I get to see a Boise State who took Oregon to the final play, the final wire, and they lost that game. I get to see an SMU who hadn't been talked about since the Pony Express in this manner. Like, this to me is it's awesome, and I think it's good for college football.
I don't know how you could be watching, Marsh, college football week in and week out and still feel as though that the same 4 teams are going to be in it at the very end. Every single week you have a massive upset or a game in which you think, okay, like the Georgia-Ole Miss game. Not a massive upset at all. I think Ole Miss was either catching a field goal or something less than that. Not a big upset. But if you watched Georgia destroy Texas a few weeks prior, you thought, okay, Georgia had its one blip on the radar with Alabama. They've straightened out now. They're good. They got destroyed by Ole Miss. Ole Miss dominated them. Same Ole Miss team, by the way, that lost to Arkansas earlier in the year. That was the other team I was thinking of that lost to Arkansas.
Ole Miss?
Ole Miss.
Okay.
So, I don't know how you can watch college football each week and think, well, this is just, we already know who's going to be the top 4 teams.
No, Ole Miss beat Arkansas. They lost to LSU and Kentucky.
They
lost to Kentucky.
By the way, we had a texter that is a Miami alum say that Miami has the tiebreaker over Clemson. I just looked. The reason why Clemson is ranked ahead of, not ranked, but higher in the standings from a conference standpoint is because they've played one more game than Miami has in conference play.
Gotcha. All right.
So Miami's still, I'd like to see Miami. That's another team that hasn't been relevant in quite some time since the early 2000s.
Yeah, there's certain teams that I think in college football you're just kind of better overall if the team is in the mix. I think Texas is that team. It'd be nice if USC ever got off the mat. I love the fact that Alabama has established itself and Georgia is one of the premier teams now, despite the loss. But Notre Dame, Miami, some of the teams that has all that history. I like when those teams are relevant. I can barely hear myself. This is awful.
Arkansas beat Tennessee.
Yeah, in Arkansas. I keep flipping Arkansas and Kentucky. I keep getting them confused because those two teams pulled off bigger upsets.
They've had some really close games, some really good games all year. So,
aren't you guys sick of these top teams being in it every year? I know you just mentioned Alabama and Georgia. I'm sick and tired of seeing them.
I'm not sick and tired of it. I am excited though that you get an Indiana, you get a BYU, you get teams that normally are not in this conversation.
Army,
and maybe you get. I don't know. I don't know.
They got to beat Notre Dame.
They have to beat Notre Dame.
If they do, I think they're in.
If Army beats Notre Dame, I'm getting everybody Army T-shirts.
Nice.
All right.
Cool.
Nice.
Got to beat the Irish though.
They're right there. Colorado is also another team that's right there.
They had a nice win. They had a nice win in Lubbock.
They were down by 13, 2 scores, and
tortillas being thrown on the field. That was weird. Travis Hunter was picking up tortillas, putting them in his pants.
I'm still a little confused on how this works. So if Boise State were to be ranked higher than the Big 12 champion, would they get the bye?
No. It's only the Power 4 teams. So Big 12, Big 10, ACC, SEC. They get automatic buys.
Mm-hmm.
So, no.
But at least you get to see it, Marsh. You get to see Boise State upset the apple cart.
And like, would Boise
or our Army Black Cadets?
Could Boise State and Army both
Knights,
make it?
Black Knights.
That's the question that I would. I mean, if they beat Notre Dame probably falls completely out of it. You look at Miami and Georgia after their losses this weekend; they both fell 8 and 9 spots, respectively. If Notre Dame falls 8 spots, they're out of it. And then you would say Army is definitely in there. So then, in my opinion, Boise State and Army would be in.
Like, you can't, like, if Army wins out and Boise State wins out and they only have one loss, how do you keep both, like, how do you keep one of those teams out?
Well, they did Boise State a disservice of dropping them one spot, even though they won that game. They might not have liked how they won the game. It was a close game, the entire game against Nevada. They won by one score.
And this is the AP poll?
Yeah, this is the AP poll. They are not. They are number 13 right now, where last week they were number 12. So.
It's going to be fun the rest of the way.
Yeah.
This is some of the best time in college football the next couple of weeks. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We do have our Sports Six-Pack coming up, so if you have got a question for us, 314-399-9646. Again, 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service tax line. Part 1 of the Sports Six-Pack next. Anthony Stalter back with my guy, Stewie. And Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation, he's always making sure that he's on the ball when it comes to making sure the rates are where they are, what the Federal Reserve is doing. Now, Stewie, I know you wanted to talk about APR, the annual percentage rate, and what it means to our current clients right now.
Well, Anthony, I think this is a general education thing. APR, annual percentage rate. We hear it all the time, but we don't know what it means. Annual percentage rate is your true cost of money. So if you go and apply for a mortgage or get a credit loan for your car, you're going to see the note rate and you're going to see the APR. The difference is either paying something called PMI or the fees they charge you. So if you hear an advertisement of a rate of 4.875%. At the end of the advertisement, it says it's 6%. You know you're paying thousands of dollars in fees to get that lower rate, and it may not be worth it for you. So consider the APR more than you're considering note rate when comparing lenders or car loan costs. That's what you want to look at.
Does your guy do that for you? Is your guy look out for you and educate you like my guy Stewie does? Because if not, my guy needs to be your guy. Google the Bagel Loan. You'll find Stewie's information right there for you. You can call him. He's got his personal cell phone number right there at the website. You call, text, doesn't matter, day, night. Stewie's there for you. Don't want you to be on hold and press 9, press 4, press whatever, and then you don't get to talk to anybody. No, when you call Stewie, you're going to get his personal cell phone number, and you're going to get him. And you're going to ask him any sort of questions you have, but do it now, too, because you want to make sure that if you got anything going on, buying a home, consolidating debt, Stewie's there for you. Stewie, keep up the great work.
Have a great night, Anthony.
You too.
NMLS number 226715.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues take on the Boston Bruins tonight. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. You'll hear Joe Vitale, and you can hear him before the pregame starts. Right here on 101 ESPN. We'll talk with him at 5:30, so stay tuned for that interview. Also, we talked with Lindenwood men's hockey head coach Bill Muckalt earlier today. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 Schaefer Door Company mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next, so get your questions into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Six-Pack coming your way next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
All right, before we dive into the Sports Six-Pack, just want to amend something that Carey said. He was 100% wrong about something with the college football playoff. The 4 highest ranked. Okay, I was wrong, too. Carey and I were wrong. You were right, listening. Carey and I were wrong. It's the 4 highest ranked conference champions.
So even the group
you and I read it. You and I have been thinking the Power 4.
Yeah.
It's not the Power 4. So we apologize for that. The 4 highest ranked conference champions will be seeded 1 through 4. So there you have it. So
cool.
still a chance for Central Michigan. No. Yeah. Nah, you guys are right. They won't win the conference.
I don't think they're going to win tonight.
Probably not. No.
Question number 1.
Quarterback.
This first one comes from the Water Boy. This is an interesting question. I think everyone kind of knows what's happening with the Rays in their stadium right now. So the Water Boy texted in, the Rays are going to have to play somewhere else next season. Let's just say if something bad were to happen, here in St. Louis and Busch Stadium was unplayable, how far would you be willing to travel to watch the Cardinals? And also, could they turn the dome into a temporary field?
I'm sure they could. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they could do that.
Here?
Yeah.
They did
to a temporary
They got
field?
new turf.
I'm sure they could do it into a temporary.
I don't know.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like it'd be enough room.
I mean, it didn't feel good for football either, but fortunately the Battlehawks have turned it into the Battle Dome. Which version are we talking about with the Cardinals?
I'd say right now. You ain't traveling?
I'm not traveling. Yeah.
You and how? Where? I mean, they could play. Well, the Cardinals couldn't they play out at out in St. Peter's, St. Charles?
What's that field? Carshield Field.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there
You
you
also
go.
have the Gateway Grizzlies
There you go.
Stadium as well. Not too far.
Yeah, that's on the ill side
by the river.
Yep.
Not
Gateway Grizzlies.
Not far.
No. Yeah, you could probably play in one of those spots.
Tampa. Where are they going to play? Can they play in? I don't know why I don't want to call it Raymond James Stadium. Is it still named that?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Is it? Can they play there?
I think they're probably going to play in a spring training facility.
Yeah, they probably just play in a spring training facility. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not that good.
No, I wouldn't travel too far to watch this Cardinals team. If it
you
was
wouldn't travel to Memphis?
Nah. If it was like a really competitive Cardinals team, I mean, we've traveled to Chicago before to watch them play against the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
Make the trip to Kansas City, maybe even trip to Memphis or something like that. Sure, but this Cardinals team, you're lucky to get me to go 20 minutes up the road.
Get you to go downtown. What are you saying, Anthony?
You know what I'm saying.
Anthony, are you willing to travel to Busch Stadium this upcoming year to watch the game?
You know what?
I think it's a bigger question.
Hey, we took the kiddos. Kristen and I took the kiddos.
Yeah.
To Busch Stadium
against the Rays
this year. We saw, ironically, Marsh is right. The Tampa Bay Rays. We saw them lose a lead, gain a lead, and then blow it late. And we stayed for the entire time.
What was the lesson to the kids that night?
You watch this. You watch this.
Yeah, I tried to leave. He told me I had to stay too.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm leaving. He's like, no. You make those children watch.
You make those kids watch this.
Like they're children, Anthony.
Yeah.
They need
to know.
What is that?
They need to learn.
That threshold of when you can leave a game. Like, because I don't like leaving games. You just never know what could happen. And you don't want to be one of those people that is walking to their car and all of a sudden you see fireworks go off and the entire stadium's going nuts.
8-1 is a good number.
8-1?
8-1.
Now, why did you choose that score?
I mean, if you're down 7 runs, it's 8-1. I think you could leave the baseball game.
What about 8 goals? 8 goals scored.
That's even worse.
You could leave at 5.
What is worse, giving up 8 runs in baseball or giving up 8 goals in hockey?
8 goals in hockey.
8 goals in hockey.
Not even close. Not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, baseball, you see 8-run games all the time.
Yeah.
8-goal hockey games. Last night, the Stars whipped the Penguins. That was only 7-1.
I think the Stars scored more goals last night than the Cowboys had points on Sunday.
That's correct.
That's ridiculous.
And the Jets. So the Stars outscored 2 football teams on Sunday.
Huh.
Wow. That's when you know you're bad.
The football teams, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, that's the Stars.
Question number 2.
This next one comes from Grant Francis Fan Club. What is the craziest injury you've ever seen someone play through?
I saw a teammate play through a torn ACL.
Oh, man.
He was crying every
was
time.
that?
He was in college, man. He was his senior year. He knew he was done playing football after that. And he wrapped that damn thing up, put a brace on it, and gave it a go, man.
Can he walk now?
Yeah, he can walk now. But he gave it a go. It was torn. Your career is over after this season. You know, he wasn't a guy that was going to play in the NFL. Like he tried.
What position?
Safety.
Oh.
He was a safety. He was on special teams. Man, I was like, yeah.
Starter?
Nah.
Okay.
He's a backup.
All right.
But a torn ACL, man, hey.
Man.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah, what tops that?
Did you see the, I forgot his
Canadian
name.
Football League?
Yes,
yeah,
dude.
buddy.
Yes. Who was that? He played at, I believe he played in the SEC.
Did he?
Was it former
I don't
Ole Miss
remember.
quarterback?
It was the Argonauts, I believe.
What happened?
Oh, man, his leg was on sideways.
Kept playing?
Oh, no, he was done. He fell over.
It's our guy Dylan.
Oh, Chad Kelly.
Oh,
Chad Kelly.
Yeah,
was
Chad,
he an Ole Miss guy?
He was Ole Miss.
Yeah.
He went to the Broncos.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jim Kelly's, was it nephew?
Oh, yes, I think.
He had some issues.
His leg was.
It was on
like he had to
sideways.
put his leg back, hold it up.
He was trying to put it. He was trying to straighten it as he was standing, and he just fell. And then you heard one of the linemen just
fell on the ground, on his knees. It looked like something out of a movie.
Yeah, his leg was flipped over.
Carey, you weren't there last year, but our guy Dylan.
I heard about it.
Yeah.
That's bad.
101 ESPN fan, Jamie Rivers, Jersey fan. Dylan got his leg sideways in a freak bubble ball incident.
That's terrible.
They call it knocker ball.
Knocker ball.
Yeah, he's competing in knocker balls.
We didn't do that this year, thankfully.
No, they didn't.
It sounds like a liability waiting to happen. Lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yep. All right, shout out to Dylan.
Shout out, Dylan.
Yep. I ran over there and said, "Hey, you're gonna be okay." And then I was moving the knocker ball in front of the leg.
You were like, oh,
because
no.
people were behind us in the stands.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it quick enough because all you heard was, "Oh!" from the entire stands.
What that sounded like when they were looking at Chad Kelly's leg.
You're gonna be okay. Oh my gosh!
Yeah. Look at his leg.
He's fine though.
He is. He's good.
Yeah. I think I had a
Only
teammate.
67 hours of surgery, I think.
Yeah.
He was good to go.
I had a teammate play with a torn pec. Like when you tear certain things, the muscle rolls up.
Yeah.
It
like the Achilles.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a rubber band. And
oh man.
It's like doing arm workouts in the studio, and then it hits you right in the nose. But some people, they keep going.
Jamie Rivers.
Yeah. Warrior.
Okay. Yeah, absolute warrior. All right. We're going to finish the six-pack.
We got two.
We got two in. We got four left. Let's finish this puppy next on 101 ESPN.
time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
All right, it's part two of the Sports Six back here on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Marsh, go.
Question number 3.
Hit us.
Well, speaking of hitting people, from the 314, Tyson versus Paul this weekend, boys. I want to see Jake get KO'd, but he probably ends up winning. What do you guys think?
We were talking about that earlier. I'm a Mike Tyson fan.
Yeah, I'd love to see Mike Tyson just rip his ear off.
I know. Well, no. Anthony, he did that before.
My bad. Metaphorically, not literally.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I watched Roy Jones, who had an exhibition fight with Mike Tyson. Roy Jones is a professional boxer, He's retired, obviously, and winner of all weight classes, even went to light heavyweight. I may have went to heavyweight, but either way, he didn't want to be in there with Mike Tyson.
No.
He's done this for a living. One of the best to ever do it. And he was like, I don't want to really fight Mike Tyson. I don't want him hitting me. Like, if he really decides to punch me. So, yeah, I don't know what it's going to be. I know it's an exhibition. But I think sometimes when you have, certain people who are trained to do certain things, sometimes it slips their mind that, I'm not supposed to do this as hard as you think I'm not supposed to. Like, I'm accustomed to hitting the hell out of people, and that's what I'm going to do. And so, be an interesting fight if they actually fight. Mm-hmm. And I think Mike Tyson is going to fight because he's in the ring and he's got gloves on.
Right.
What else does he know other than to punch people in the face?
Yeah.
My favorite type of people.
Yeah, I'm all in on Mike Tyson in this one. But granted, we've been here before with Jake Paul, where you think he's gonna lose and he's nothing but the social media, whatever, and he winds up winning. Well, give me Mike Tyson.
That's what we were talking about in the break when we brought this up, but I said I saw this video where Mike Tyson's talking about Jake Paul, and he said he's a manufactured killer. And that's from like social media and stuff and all these different fights. And he's held his own in some of these fights. But Mike Tyson, as he said, is a natural born killer.
Yeah.
So
they're texting in saying it's no longer an exhibition fight. It's a pro fight.
Okay.
So it goes on your pro record.
There you go.
I don't think Mike Tyson wants to lose.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah. Jake Paul merely adopted the dark. Mike Tyson was born in it.
I've heard that before. I don't know.
No, I just made it
Great quote. Great quote you got there.
Who said that?
I did.
Anthony.
Oh, you
just
did?
now.
Yeah, just now.
17 seconds
You
ago.
merely adopted the dark.
Yeah, you said that kind of.
born in the dark.
Yeah, you guys are saying it weird. I don't know why you guys are saying it weird. I just said it. So
I think you said it wrong.
it's not right.
Gonna keep this man out of the tunnel in a football game.
Yeah. Watch that.
Especially in Pittsburgh.
Well, it was Gotham, actually.
You're right.
It looks a lot like Pittsburgh.
Why do you say that?
Question number 4.
From the 618, are the same Blues players showing Army that it's not the coaching? Basically the same veterans, and we're in the same position.
I think we said that when the firing took place. It ain't the coaching. When coaches get fired, it's very rarely, like, you might lose a locker room in terms of maybe guys aren't buying into what you're saying, or maybe guys aren't, believing in your philosophy and they aren't playing. But at the end of the day, they're the ones that take the field. They're the ones that take the ice. They're the ones that take the court. Like, I can only teach you or coach you to a certain level, and once you get on the ice or in between those lines, the coaching is, I did my part. Now do yours.
Yeah.
And if you don't, and people get fired. And then you realize, oh crap, it's still the same. That's why when people, the Phillies fired their manager and look what they did. Yeah, you can name a handful of those teams. The Blues did it in 20. Again, that's not the norm. That's the exception to the rule.
Yeah, the Jets fired their head coach. Probably not going to make the playoffs.
Probably
Unless
not.
the Saints get an opportunity to play the Falcons every week.
There you go.
They're not going to make the playoffs.
You name a handful of teams that get better when they fire the coach, and then all of a sudden that becomes, fire them.
Yeah, it's not the norm.
That's the exception to the rule. The rule is the team stunk, got the coach fired. They're going to continue to stink.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hope you like it.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Question number 5.
This one comes from Justin. Do you believe the Cardinals will win the World Series in the next 5 years, or
Yes.
the Cubs win the World Series in the next 5 years?
I don't think either win
Cardinals.
the World Series in the next 5 years.
Cardinals.
I think the Dodgers, foregone conclusion.
That's obvious, but
Once they add
they
Juan
won't
Soto.
win all 5.
Yeah,
Cardinals
they
will
probably
win one there. 3-4 years down the line.
I'll tell you what. I think they've got a better chance to win over the next 5 years doing what they're about to do, as opposed to if they just stuck with what they were doing.
I agree.
Which is like, dipping your toe in the water in free agency just a little bit. Hey, we'll sign our one guy a year.
Do you ever wonder
75 mil.
how that meeting was? Like how they came to grips with it? Like, was it like, hey, it ain't working. Do something different.
Yeah.
Like, well, I thought we were on the right. No, it's not right. Fix it.
No, I don't think it was like that at all.
How do you think it was?
I think it was more like, well, I think that what we're doing might need to be tweaked.
This isn't a tweak.
Net, I think that we probably, need to do something different.
Would you say this is a drastic shift in the opposite direction?
I wouldn't say it's drastic, no. Because it's not like you were spending a whole bunch of money in free agency.
No.
I think you're just you're recommitting to what quite frankly, you were doing before. I mean, before, we can all talk about the 04 team, which was an absolute juggernaut. But by the time 06 came around, a lot of those veterans were banged up and then got healthy at the right time. And a lot of the young players, like Dunk, came in and helped that team win. In 2011, you had Albert, homegrown, Yachty, homegrown. Waino was injured. Chris Carpenter had decent success in Toronto, but when he got to St. Louis under Dave Duncan, talented guy, obviously, but it blossomed. But who was the big free agent? Matt Holliday got in a trade
in 2011.
2011. You brought in Lance Berkman, but that was toward the end of his career. Really good signing, but a smart, savvy signing.
I mean, a huge contributor, also homegrown, was Alan Craig.
Think about the Memphis Mafia. Think about the Memphis Mafia in 2011. So Alan Craig, Daniel Descalso, John Jay. Was Skip? I think it was. I don't know if
Skip was on that team.
Skip was on that team. I don't know if he was part of that Memphis Mafia crew. It might have been a pitcher or two. But the bottom line is, when you won in 11, you had homegrown players that were either in their prime or guys that had won in the minors, developed the right way, came up and contributed. And yes, you traded Colby Rasmus, savvy deal there, to bring in basically an entire revamped bullpen, and Lance Berkman. That's how you won.
Don't forget Ryan Terrio.
Of course. The Riot. But you won that way. It wasn't the way that we all have manufactured in our heads, where it's like you gotta spend in free agency. You gotta spend in free agency. You gotta show me you care. They didn't win that way. And even if you go back to 04, they made savvy deals to bring in guys that wound up making huge impacts.
Well, also, like the amount of money that was being spent back in the day was
pales in comparison.
Not even close.
Yes.
Like you had Reggie Sanders, in that 04, 05, like that span, Larry Walker.
Right.
Like all of these dudes who, if they played in today's baseball, would be making a decent amount of money. Even Larry Walker is at the tail end of his career, but the guy could still mash the ball.
Certainly. So I think we kind of manufacture the early 2000s teams of being like this juggernaut team built from, all this outside help. Yeah, to some degree, but you still had Albert.
He's pretty good.
You still had veteran guys that played the right way, like Mike Matheny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't like you brought in. You weren't the damn Yankees, the band or the club.
I do think though that like you brought guys in, and I think sometimes people their expectations are, well, when we bring in this free agent, it's going to work like now.
Yeah,
that's not always the case. Like you bring guys in, and maybe it works a couple of years later. Like Matt Holliday, you bring him in at the tail end of the 2000s, and then you find success in the early 2010s.
Right.
With him, Jim Edmonds, Scott Rowland, like they didn't win the World Series the year that they brought those guys in. Like it took a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah. So, anyways, I think they have a better shot now to do, over the next 5 years, have a strong team that you can add to, as opposed to what they're doing now, which is just constantly using the Flex Seal over the issue,
which I'm sure is a great product.
It's a great product,
they
sure,
made boats
absolutely, yeah.
out of it.
Yeah, you don't see 5 minutes later that boat probably sinks, but it's a good commercial. So how do you fix inconsistency? Marsh asked Carey Davis, what's the biggest issue right now with the Cardinals from Carey's perspective? And Carey said, talent. No, he said consistency. They're not consistent. So how do you fix inconsistency? We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN. 7, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis were chatting in the office earlier today, and Marsh spun around and said, Carey, what's your problem? And Carey looked at him and go, what's your problem? And Marsh goes, no, that's not what I meant. What's your problem with the Cardinals? And Carey, you said consistency.
Yeah.
And then Marsh said, well, how do you fix inconsistency? And then Carey, you said, what?
I didn't say anything. He wrote it down, and then he started talking to you guys. Save it! Yeah, that's what we said.
That makes sense. Yeah. That's always a rule. When somebody gets rolling in the office, you go, save it!
Yeah.
Save it for on air.
I didn't say a word.
All right. So, Carey, now's the time to unlock.
To be more consistent is doing the small detailed things over and over and over again. Like not getting bored with the mundane work, not getting tired, not getting frustrated, not just saying, I'm over it. All right, I did it, now what? I think I always go back to a quote by Nick Saban. He was talking, I think it was Kirby Smart, when he was still his defensive coordinator. And they were talking about something, and Kirby said, we're going to do this until you get it right. And Nick said, no, we aren't. We're going to do it until you no longer get it wrong. Like, we're going to do this until it's embedded in you over and over and over again, where you no longer make this mistake.
Yeah.
And that's the consistency part. Because if we only do it until you get it right, we did it one time.
Yeah.
We did it one time, and now we can move on. No, we're going to do it till you no longer mess this up.
That's really good.
Like, so that always stuck with, and that's being consistent. That's taking away any reasons or anything that can be in the way of messing this. It's doing it over and over. I watch a video. People are enamored with Steph Curry and he makes so many shots. And I watched a video where he starts literally right in front of the rim and takes a step back, makes 5 shots, no rim, just touches net. Okay. Now, 5 more, until he gets to the 3-point line. And then he starts the rest of his workout. But the consistency of doing the same thing, you hear Kobe, it's doing the thing over and over and not being bored with it. It's taking thousands of jump shots, shagging balls in the outfield and infield, like taking fly balls, doing all of those things over and over and over again. And not being bored with it. That's how you become consistent. So for me, it's just doing the work and not being tired of it. And that goes for everybody. That's not just the players. That's the coaches. That's the front office. That's everybody included. So in order to be successful, you have to be consistent.
Yeah.
And that usually leads to winning games. And the only way you win championships is by winning games. So that would be my take on it.
Yeah, and I wonder, Carey, if we're going to relate this to the Cardinals, if it almost has to start in the front office.
Yeah. Where
you have to reestablish, and we just got done talking about what the Cardinals are trying to do. It's much easier to do what the Philadelphia Phillies are doing. I know the Dodgers are doing the same thing, but
that's easy though.
Oh yeah,
like I don't think
from a GM standpoint,
I don't think it's easy. I don't think it's as easy as people assume. Like, I think paying players and paying the top players, man, there's a lot of egos that comes with somebody making 30, 40, 50, 60 million dollars. And to have 3, 4, 5, 6 of those guys, it takes a person who is comfortable within themselves to be able to manage that.
You're talking about the manager, though.
Well, yeah, I'm talking
about the front office.
Okay. All right. Well,
so if I told you,
it's easier to go pay for those players, but I don't think that necessarily makes you a championship team.
Couldn't agree more. I'm just talking about from an approach standpoint.
Okay.
Building a roster. What a GM or president does with an open checkbook is less impressive to me than somebody that is working with a strict budget that still has the same expectations of winning. The wins still count the same. Yeah. The losses still count the same. It's more impressive to me to see what the Milwaukee Brewers, despite their postseason failures, what they have done is more impressive from a roster building standpoint than what the Phillies do. You're right. The Phillies are no more guaranteed success than the Brewers. But if we get back to the consistency aspect of it, I think that it starts with the front office saying, this is how we're going to consistently build our rosters. And we believe in it, and we're going to find players that fit this mold, and we're going to find players that fit this culture. So I actually think the consistency that you're talking about, and I love that quote that you shared, it starts in the front office with a belief of how we're going to build a winning roster. Then we can get into what you're talking about with the manager and, doing things, players taking the pride in doing things the right way consistently throughout.
But that's having a plan. Like having a plan, understanding exactly who you are, what you can and cannot do.
Sure.
Like there are limitations in terms of, okay, we can't spend this, but we can do this. We can allocate these funds here. It's not going to be $30 million a year for this player, but it might be $20 million for this that will help every player.
Right.
And so understanding that that's how you have to go about your work and your day-to-day actions, I think that I honestly feel more excited about this Cardinals team for 2025 than I have the last couple of years. Because I know there's a plan in place. That doesn't mean they're going to win a ton of games. They might win less games than they did last year. But in the long run, you're sacrificing some things for the now, for the future, which I don't feel like that they were doing that. And in order to win a championship the last couple of years, you would have had to go spend money and bring in one of those named players because you were not good enough to make it and make a push in the playoffs, but not bad enough to realize we really stink.
Sure.
You're right in the middle. So I think what they've done now is, okay, let's reset. Let's say we're not going to go spend. So what do we need to do? Because this middling area isn't giving us anything. And so they made a decision. All right, we're going to go in this direction, and we're going to develop our players, and with the hopes that in 3 to 4 years, those guys will be outstanding players. We know they are talented enough, but let's develop them to get the best out of them so that we can win some games and hopefully win some championships in the future.
That's Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Which college football teams, the playoff teams, are we buying into? That list might be a lot shorter than you think. That's next on 101 ESPN. Gauntlet on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter. Which college football playoff teams or possible playoff teams are we buying into? I think that this is a pretty tough question based on what we've seen thus far in college football. And I'm not even complaining. I think it's been such a fun season that we don't know what we're getting on a week-to-week basis. We have not been able to say that for many seasons now. So I love the fact that I'm not necessarily buying into a team. Or when I do buy into a team, such as Georgia last week, because I was all in. A couple weeks ago when they beat Texas, I'm like, okay, this is Georgia. Yeah, the Dogs, I'm ready. And then they go into the Grove and they get waxed. So I don't think I can buy into any of these teams. I'm buying into the chaos.
I can buy into Oregon.
Well, if that's going to be a team, if there's going to be a team, that's
there.
One.
I don't think I can buy into anybody else.
Yeah.
Because everybody else.
Which is funny because you weren't buying into Oregon earlier in the year, and I'm not criticizing you. I don't blame you.
Well, after the first couple of games, I was like, oh, this team's I don't know what they're doing.
And you didn't buy into them against Ohio State either.
No, I thought Ohio State was going to win that game. And it came down to a last, drive opportunity for Ohio State to kick a field goal, which they were unable to do.
Who does Oregon have this weekend?
They play.
Do you know off the top of your head?
They play Wisconsin. At Wisconsin.
So they're going to lose.
At Wisconsin? They aren't going to lose to Wisconsin.
Here's the thing with Carey Davis. As soon as he throws his support behind a team, that team loses.
Do they?
You supported Georgia.
When?
They lost to Alabama. You supported Ohio State.
I supported Texas.
They lost to Oregon. You supported Texas, Colton the Juggernaut.
I did.
And they lost to Georgia.
I supported Tennessee.
You supported Tennessee.
Yeah.
They went on the road and lost to Arkansas.
Well, hang on.
Oregon season's over.
Is that what happened, or is that what you did, Anthony?
What?
Let me go back through these bet the boards here.
What the French toast?
Let me go back here. Let's see. Georgia -3, lost. Bucks +2, that's NFL, lost.
Yeah, but you know why I picked the Bucks.
Packers -3, lost. Jags minus that pushed. Man, why you picked the Jags a couple times here? Michigan +7, lost.
That was a terrible decision.
That was bad. I won last. Hold on. Why don't you read off all the stuff from last month, Marsh? When I won.
This is last month.
You cherry picking.
You want me to go through all of them?
You picked the Jags twice.
Yeah. Who did I pick?
Why would you?
So you want me to go through the Connecticut Sun? Ruined their season. Mets could have went to the World Series. They lost.
He picked the Yankees too.
Vikings,
he picked the Dodgers.
Vikings they should be 8-1 right now. Anthony picked them to win. Lost.
That was against the Rams, right?
Yep.
I'm trying to think why I picked the Jaguars.
Why did you pick the Jaguars?
I don't know, Margot.
You picked them twice, I think.
What's the date on that?
10-4.
10-4. Who did they
and
play
9-23.
9-23.
So one of them pushed. So they won that game.
9-23. That was the Buffalo Bills.
9-23 plus 4.5.
Oh, that was a Monday night. That's when I got cute.
Yeah,
and 10 what?
10-4. So they must have won that game because they were -3 and they pushed.
Yeah, they beat the
Colts
that weekend.
Oh, they were up big. That was a game they were up big, and they let the Colts come back into it. I know why I picked them on against the Bills because
let them off the hook.
Because I said that line made no sense. Turns out it didn't make any sense.
Anyways,
yeah.
Carey ruined another team.
Who did
Thank
that
you.
ruin?
Oregon.
Nah, they haven't lost.
Well,
not yet.
I also chose the Dodgers, and they won the World Series. So.
Okay, well, anybody could have took the Dodgers.
True.
Anthony picked the Dodgers.
I did.
He did that with a different plan in mind, though.
I certainly did. It worked for one day.
Not sure what you're talking about.
Yeah. So anyways, Marsh, who do you believe in?
Oh, man. Well, I was riding the Miami train last week, and I guess I'm a part of that conversation, too, given the fact that they lost this week. So let's see. What team do I want to bury?
Yeah, but you got them going, though.
I'll go with Texas. I used to be a Texas fan when I was a child. Vince Young, Colt McCoy. I remember crying when Colt McCoy got injured in that BCS national championship game that ended up leading to what we know now is that powerhouse of Alabama. I actually think they lose that game if Colt McCoy stays in there.
Really?
I really do. Texas
against Bama.
Oh,
Yeah.
Texas they looked good.
They did look good.
They looked good.
Garrett Gilbert came in.
Garrett Gilbert.
A former Ram quarterback.
Yeah. Yep. I'll go with Texas. I think no matter who you put in at quarterback, I think they can get it done. They've proven that they can do it before. At least getting to the top four. I don't know. I mean, that's a good question because there's not really a team that really stands out, and you're like, oh yeah, I really feel good about this team. I could see Oregon going deep in the playoff, but every time they make it to the national championship, they find a way to choke.
Wow.
So it's a different Oregon team. I'm rooting for Dan Lanning. Yeah.
I watched last night. Sometimes I'll just go back and because I'm weird. Just rewatch stuff. So last night I went back and rewatched the final quarter of the Auburn Oregon game, the national championship.
That game should have been played on ice skates. That turf was awful that night.
It did look bad. I watched the Florida State final drive against Auburn with Jameis Winston.
Mm-hmm.
Went back, watched the Ohio State Oregon national championship with Cardale Jones and Ezekiel Elliott. Yeah, just a weird night for me last night. But
yeah, you went down the rabbit hole.
I did. But I don't know. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I really don't know, which is exciting.
You know what I'm excited about?
What are you excited about?
There are 4 teams in the top 5, and they're all from one conference.
Big Ten.
Hey. I didn't say it. He said it.
Yeah, but you implied it.
But I didn't say it.
I
But
think
it
it
is
still
true.
counts.
It is true. Big Ten.
Yeah, it's a really strong conference.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the best conference, but it is a really strong
Are you kidding
conference.
me?
Give me Indiana.
Don't do that to them.
To lose to Ohio State. Yeah.
Hey, is this the week? Is this the weekend where my Army Black Cadets? Why do I keep calling them that? Black Knights go to Notre Dame.
Yes.
think so.
No, 2 weeks.
Okay.
They got a week off. They play on the 23rd.
Okay, good. And
we should
Notre
get
Dame's got
together for that
Virginia.
game.
We should.
We should.
I want you guys to be Army fans with me.
I will be in New York.
What the?
Weekend.
Come on, what are you doing?
Is this
Illinois
next
got
Saturday?
Rutgers.
Actually,
New
I can't
Jersey.
go, Anthony.
Rutgers.
Can't go. No, I
Now
have a family Thanksgiving to attend. I mean, you're welcome to come.
Guys, I kind of thought we had this all set up.
Yeah.
I won't be in town.
Okay, fine. You know what? I'll watch them by myself. I'll watch my Army Black Cadet Knights by myself. All right, we got Joe Vitale joining us next to talk a little Blues hockey here on the Blues Radio Network 101 ESPN. I love the Missouri Athletic Club. Love being a club member of it. When they've got the 2 clubhouses, and whether you're going downtown, and a lot of times they host their big events downtown, their speaker series, and they bring in certain people to talk about certain industries. It's always fun. Or you're talking about the West Clubhouse, getting my workout in, or using their business center to prep for the show, or getting the kids involved in certain classes and clubs. I always enjoy being part of the action at the Missouri Athletic Club. In fact, we got certain events coming up, whether it's for Thanksgiving or Christmas. So we're going to, enroll the Missouri Athletic Club into kind of like the family traditions and stuff. It's always fun at the Missouri Athletic Club. That's my MAC.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues are back in action tonight, looking to get back in the win column. They take on the Boston Bruins. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7, and you'll hear Joe Vitale on the call tonight with Chris Kerber right here on 101 ESPN. And you're also going to hear from Joe Vitale next right here in the Fast Lane, so stay tuned for that. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. No. Carey Davis. I was singing a song, and Carey goes, Aerosmith. And I go, yes. And then Carey goes, yeah. And I go, no. No, it's Creed.
Is it really? Oh, that's terrible.
Carey, of course, always says. Anytime there's any sort of song going on, Carey goes, Creed. And we say no. Joey Vitale now joins us via the Thompson and Collier phone line. What's up, Joe?
Hey, little Aerosmith Creed banter. Nothing greater than that on a Tuesday evening as you guys looking to wrap the show up.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you got Bruins and Blues tonight, but when you get a chance to talk about Aerosmith and Creed in the same conversation, I mean, you know you're doing something right, Joe.
I tell you, the Aerosmith music's fantastic. They actually have a ride. The greatest thing Aerosmith has done. Have you been on the ride down there in Disney World at the park there?
Yeah. So Joe, we took the kids to Disney World a year and a half ago, and my now 6-year-old Killian, he wasn't tall enough for that ride.
Oh man!
But Brad Thompson took his son Dylan on that ride, and poor Dylan passed out in the middle of it.
Oh my goodness!
Brad, at the end of the ride, Brad looks over. He's like, "What'd you think, Bo? No!" And Dylan came too right again. But that ride is apparently great, right? It's pretty intense.
Oh man, bring your boy back and he's tall enough. I'm telling you, it is wild because like Brad's son, my son Harper at the time, I've been on this ride before.
Sure.
And it was a few years. I'm bringing my daughter, my oldest son, and he is right on that border age, and he's a little bit terrified of heights and rides and stuff. And I'm like, dude, it's going to be just fine. I've been on this before. It's not even that scary. I'm like, look at all these kids in this line. There's kids shorter than him. I'm like, look, this is easy. And I keep talking to people. I'm doing the dad thing.
Sure.
Hey, is this ride scary? The kid's like, oh, my God, no, it's just right.
It's
awesome.
so fun.
Well, I forget about the ride, though. As you're in line, right before you get to the front, you actually see the people take off a couple slots before you, and this thing goes from like 0 to 90 in like maybe 4 seconds. If he sees this, he's like, "Oh my God, I'm out of here!" I go, "No, you can't go back. You can't go back. It's too late."
We're already here.
I got him on it. Long story short, it's an Aerosmith ride there in Disney World, and it's a great ride. To wrap it up.
I don't ride rides, Joey. I'm not a fan of roller coasters. It's too much for me.
It could be a lot. It could be a lot. No question. If there is one in Disney World, it would be that one.
I never feel comfortable, like the seatbelt is not properly secure. When I look around, everyone's as close on their chest, and mine is out a little bit further. And I'm like, I don't want to fall through.
Yeah, see, I'm with you like that when it comes to horses. I can't ride a horse because of that. You just, at least with the roller coaster, I feel like I'm a little bit like there's a company backing me here. Like, something should go wrong. I have a fairly decent life insurance policy. I'm sure Six Flags can fork over some money if I go down. But a horse, listen, you go down on a horse, that's a whole different deal.
Yeah, man, no doubt about that. Joe's getting ready for the Blues and Bruins tonight. Our pregame show starts in less than a half an hour. Jamie Rivers, one of his keys to the game tonight, Joe, is to start off fast, especially since he had that rough third period the other night against Washington. How important is it that the Blues get off to a fast start, and how important is this game, Joe, considering you just got waxed 8-1?
Well, that's number one, right? You want to see a positive response from this team. Not only be embarrassed on home ice. That final period was just not good enough. And this is a third period where you come into the game, you're only down by 2 goals. And then, of course, you allow the 2 power plays against, and it just seemed like everyone rolled over and just kind of fell around to die. And that's what you hate to see. You want to see a better effort than that. This is a Blues group right now that is struggling to find wins. They're struggling through some of these injuries, but they're going to need a bounce back because you mentioned the starting. Over the last 7 games, they have allowed that first goal in every single game. I mean, guys, it's a catch-up game that is just too hard in this league nowadays. Every team is too good. For the style this team wants to play, to defend hard, lean on goaltending early, if you're constantly chasing the game, well, then you're constantly cheating and getting away from this defensive style you want to get to, which then, of course, the game continues to open up. So that's on the Blues side. Now, the biggest challenge tonight is going to be the Boston Bruins are coming to town after they feel like they came off a pretty embarrassing loss. Now, it's not embarrassing in the sense of the score. I mean, they only lost in overtime to the Ottawa Senators at home ice, but this is a team that has been a bit underwhelming, underperforming all year, and particularly in that game, get this, their third period, even though they sent it to overtime, they had 0 shots on goal. They didn't have a shot on goal in that entire third period against the Ottawa Senators, and then, of course, they go into overtime and lose. So, yes, the scores are a little bit skewed, but we have two teams with great history coming together tonight that are both coming off some embarrassing losses. So I think both coaches are going to try to get their group in the right direction.
Joey, I made the joke maybe a week or so ago that maybe the Blues need to get to the arena an hour earlier than normal. What is it that they are struggling in the first period so much? How do they change that, and why is that an issue right now?
Well, I think it's the psychology of the style that they're playing, and I guess to easily break this down, they have to defend very well, and they have to lean on goaltending. So what does that mean? That means you're not going to take a ton of chances offensively. You're not going to put yourself out of position and risk it to make some high pressure chances that they could go the other way. So you come out and you have that mindset. But then sometimes a bad bounce happens. Let's look at last game. The Blues are in a good spot. And then Washington Capitals come down, and they have a shot from the outside, and it goes off of Ryan Suter's stick. Their own defenseman takes a redirection, goes in. It happens. That's hockey, right? Now, where this gets a little bit tricky from a psychological standpoint of a player, all of a sudden now you look at the scoreboard like, oh, yeah, I get a goal. So you get away from this game plan of defend, and be patient, wait for your chance in the third period. So that's where it becomes a challenge, where when they're not starting right, these funny bounces right now are just not going their way, and then they're playing that catch-up style of hockey. So for Drew Bannister, for this team, at the end of the first period tonight, if it's 0-0, you're good with that. And guess what? If you're down by 1, you're still okay with that, as long as you don't veer away from the game plan, because over 60 minutes, this is a group of guys that really do believe that you invest for 40, 45, 50 minutes, all of a sudden in the third period, after playing this way, you're going to get your opportunities, you're going to get out on the power play, you're going to get a goal, and that to me is where this group has kind of gone wrong right now, is they've just lost that patience. Who was it? The guy from Peter Pan who loses marbles. Who's the old fellow? Scoodles or McDoodles or what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh man.
Scoodles. Coodles.
Scuttles. Scuttle.
Scuttles? Is it Scuttles?
No, that's the bird in.
No,
that would be Toodles, gentlemen.
Toodles. That's right, Toodles.
The Blues are like Toodles from Peter Pan. They lost their marbles in these first periods, and they're getting all panicky. You just gotta
makes sense.
Like Toodles. Yeah, it's like you lose your marbles. It's all right. Like, just hold on. Well, we're okay. We're not in a bad spot. They gotta be around here somewhere. Let's put our hands and knees. Let's just tiny dog on a marble.
Yeah. No, that makes honestly, Joe, that makes a lot of sense. Also, a Peter Pan ride down in Disneyland.
Nah.
Oh, one of the greatest. One of the greatest.
You feel like you're flying, Carey. You'd love it.
I'm okay. I don't want to.
Carey, we're gonna get you down to Disney.
You're gonna have to give me some medication to get me down there and get on the ride, and then I wouldn't enjoy it either way. So it wouldn't be fun.
Nah, you'd be fine.
Nah. So Joey, I know you are a bread aficionado. We had this question earlier, and I want to know if you know the answer to it. We had it in the Gauntlet, so let's see if you know the answer. What is the type of bread whose name loosely translates to fart demon in German?
Fart demon in German?
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine it's a type of rye bread, because rye is popular in Germany. I don't know.
Do you want the options?
Yeah, give me the options.
All right. Is it Dinkelbrot, Pumpernickel, or sourdough?
It's got to be pumpernickel.
Nice. You were right.
Because I know sourdough. I know it's not sourdough, and I know pumpernickel is German. It's got a little bit of rye in it. So to me, pumpernickel all the way. Yeah, I needed some options. I feel bad. I should have had that one without even the options.
No, but you knew it right away. You knew it once you heard the options, Joe.
I knew it.
That's huge. All right. You know what? I think we've covered a lot of ground. We talk a little hockey. We talk a lot of rides. I think we've covered it, Joe. Well, you know what? Let me ask you this. Good on Bannister to go back to Bennington tonight?
I think so. Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, a couple of those goals you like to have back, but this is your starter. I mean, you got to keep riding your horse. I mean, there's no controversy here. This kid's a gamer. He had an off game. I'm not even gonna say an off game. He had a normal game. He looked like a normal human being last game. But I talked to Davey Alexander a little bit this morning, the goaltender coach here, and he holds these goalies to a very high standard. And Joel Hofer said it to me earlier this year when I asked him about a goal that got past him. It was a great shot against the Utah team, and I asked him to go, "Hey, was that just a good shot? Sometimes you just got to tip your hat to the goal to the shooter, right?" And he said, "No." He goes, "If I see this puck, I'm gonna save it. Like, that's my mindset. If I see it, I save it." Bennington's the same way. If he sees him, he saves him. And yes, some of those were redirected. Some of those on the power play can't do much about. But this is a goalie that takes a lot of pride. He's a winner. He cares more than maybe anyone in that locker room. So a huge bounce-back game here again with some really good juju as he's facing the team he took down in the 2019 Stanley Cup Final. So it'll be great to see him back in the cage, and they're looking for another good performance here.
Absolutely. Joe, thanks, buddy. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks, boys. Can't wait.
All right. That's Joe Vitale here in the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Just good stuff. Good laughs.
Joe is awesome, man.
Joe is awesome.
Yeah. Love talking rides and rye.
Rides and rye with Joe Vitale.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. We've got Bet the Board, 3 stars of the day, criticisms, compliments, all coming up next. missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or the Schaefer Door Company 101 ESPN mobile app. All brought to you by Upstar and Auto Centers. Time to bet the board. Andrew Marsh, the only winner from last night. The only winner for this month.
I mean, he's already won. Just give him the award.
You know,
the month is over.
We have to play this out, but Carey, you're absolutely right. This is done. Andrew Marsh opens up.
4-leg parlay to start the season, start the month off.
Commanding lead.
What is he up? 8-0.
I think it's 8. Are you up 8 right now?
You got 8?
No, I believe I have 7.
7
close
to what?
Enough.
I got 2.
7-4-2-2.
Yeah,
it's pretty much over. I mean, well, let's just keep playing, but it's pretty much over.
All right,
Marsh, continue to kick our asses.
All right, so I did this before. The last time the Blues, I believe, won a game. It was against Tampa Bay. And I picked the Lightning puck line in the first period, and it missed. So I'm going to do the same thing with Boston tonight. I'm going to take Boston -0.5, which means they just got to outscore the Blues in the first period, and then I win. But maybe they won't.
Okay.
Didn't work last time.
All right, I like it. Sure. Give me the Golden State Warriors -2.5 against the Dallas Mavericks as Klay Thompson goes back to Splash City.
All right. Give me the Golden State Warriors on the money line -146.
Oh, no, Terry.
Put it in reverse, Terry. I'll take the money line.
Why didn't I see that?
I don't know.
It's only I see it right here. Laying the 2.5 for no reason.
None. If they win by 1 or 2.
I don't like this game anymore.
It's ridiculous.
Jamie stole the Florida Panthers from Marsh. Marsh wanted the Florida Panthers. Jamie, who doesn't care about our game or being here for an entire show,
he's got work to do.
Took the Panthers on the money line, so that's Jamie's play tonight. Yeah. All right, Marsh, what do we got for criticisms and or compliments?
Yeah, big text here for a big game from the 314. Afternoon, Anthony. How does it look for the Chippewas tonight?
Well, here's the deal about the old Chips. We're in the Glass Bowl in Toledo, and we're 14.5-point dogs. We benched the backup quarterback last week, and
you going with the third string?
Rode the third string to a cover.
Oh.
And that was against Bowling Green at home. Now we're on the road tonight from action. Rockets are no joke, okay? But we cover. That's 2 covers in a row on Maction. On Maction night.
I mean, it's
Fire
your
up
night.
Chips, baby. Fire
It's your
up
night.
Chips. Have those road maroon helmets going on with the maroon pants, Marsh.
Oh,
Is
man.
it maroon and gold? Is that your
Maroon
colors?
and gold.
Is that the colors?
Yep.
Maroon and gold.
I think the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, that's what the C is for, right?
No, Chippewas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fire up Chips.
Fire up Chips, baby. Yeah.
From the 618.
It's actually a flying C.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Because
flying
they're
C.
Flying up chips.
Well,
Yeah, okay. Got it.
we're cool. Mount Pleasant is good with the Chippewas name.
Okay.
We're the only team in the FBS that doesn't have a mascot, though.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so we got the flying C.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Way better than Flying V.
No question.
Nah.
Yeah, which should have been an offsides goal, let's be honest.
Yeah, multiple times. From the 618, I have had a rough few weeks. You guys are awesome.
Whoa.
Thanks for the laughs.
Yeah, sorry
Thank
about
you.
your rough couple of weeks.
Hope you feel better.
Absolutely, yeah.
From the 314, hey guys, I just got in the car. Would you mind repeating that last bit of the show all the way back until the beginning of the show?
We can't do that, but you can always check out the podcast presented by Dobstar and Auto Centers. Sorry you missed it.
From the 314, love listening to you guys, but the descriptions of those legs made my stomach turn. I'm not sure what that was about.
Description of the legs. Your legs, maybe, when we were shooting you?
I don't know.
With the airsoft gun?
I don't remember.
That's the only time I remember the legs.
What legs are you talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, no. Chad Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
And our guy Dylan.
Yeah.
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
the leg was on sideways.
He was trying
That
to
makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not great.
We just did it again, too.
We did.
Nah. We didn't. No, we didn't.
A little bit.
Okay, yeah, we totally did. Sorry.
All right, let's get to our 3 stars of the day. Our 3rd star of the day goes to this gentleman.
You know, technology and stuff.
Chevy guy.
Yeah, Chevy guy. Technology and
Chevy
stuff.
guy.
Absolutely.
Some late additions to the 3 stars. Our 2nd star of the day goes out to the Aerosmith ride.
Yeah. Disney World Aerosmith
Can
ride.
you take me higher? Aerosmith.
On the ride, yes.
Yeah.
No.
That's Creed.
Still Creed.
Oh, man. I'm terrible at this.
It's so funny because you always say Creed. Every single time you say Creed. One time it's actually Creed, you say Aerosmith. Of all bands.
No.
They don't sound alike.
I have no clue.
I don't know.
That's hilarious.
1st star of the day goes to a guy, although he lost his marbles, he's picking up the 1st star of the day. That's Toodles.
Yeah.
Toodles, nice, yeah. Or Scuttle from Little Mermaid, as we like to call him.
You're all over the place on that one.
A little bit. Wouldn't be the fast lane if we weren't.
You guys are crazy.
Yeah.
You get to do this every day.
I like you, but you're crazy.
Crazy, man. You're crazy.
Oh, yeah, that's the 1st star. That was the 1st star.
We
I was waiting for another star.
We were waiting on you.
I was waiting for another star. That's my fault. Yeah, no, I'm driving, right? That was one of those where I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I'm driving.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
We appreciate everybody tuned in throughout the course of the day today. Carey, Marsh, and I will be back tomorrow from 2 to 6 here on 101 ESPN. Our guy Jamie Rivers will be traveling. You got Blues Bruins pregame starting in less than 5 minutes. For Andrew Marsh, for Jamie Rivers, for Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. See ya.